Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone, and with me tonight we have...
Pixie!
I'm Bex.
And I'm the dreaded DM.
There you
Hello.
go. We
Yes.
famously never tell people what they have to do to introduce themselves here. We just let you do it.
Absolutely. That's right.
It's a hazing ritual.
It is. You guys are just lucky she decided to go first. Normally we just wait for
I'm at
others.
the top of
I know.
the Zoom call. I went in order of where we are face-wise.
I know. It's all good.
Okay.
It is all good. Good evening, and welcome, everyone. Tonight, we are playing CBR plus PNK, a cyberpunk hack for Blades in the Dark.
What's Blades in the Dark, Cody?
Well, it's a story-heavy game system, Caitlin.
That was such a choice.
It was. I don't know why. There will be lots of choices being made tonight. We'll see if we know.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll see if we figure out why any of them are being made. But very, very excited to be here with you guys. So throughout the rest of January, we are going to be trying out some shows. We're going to be trying out some game systems, just sort of checking stuff out because we here love us some RPGs. We love us having a good time, telling some stories. And we're going to try to do a little bit more of that throughout the year. I think we do have...
Yes, Bex? Oh, you mentioned me in your story. I was like, what the fuck? Why are you sending me an Instagram message? You're sitting right there. Got it.
We are going to have
I would notify you right away.
That was so funny. Sorry, we're having a what?
Anyways.
I don't know. A couple of announcements, I think.
Yes.
Yes, Pixie, kick us off.
We have been recently retheming our Patreon, if we can get the Patreon command in chat from anyone who can do it, which I think is everyone actually, exclamation point Patreon. We have been converting our Patreon slowly but surely into a Pin of the Month club because we listened to all of you who said that our designs were phenomenal and you want us to be able to do more. Well, this is how we do more. So the different tiers in our Patreon, you're going to see them labeled. Some of them are old or original version, and some of them say Pin of the Month Club. Pin of the Month Club ones come with rewards now, including one that is just a pin, one that, thank you Mo, one that is the pin and the sticker, and one that is a pin, the sticker, and a set of found family dice. Those are dice that are eight-piece sets, the extra d20 for advantage, disadvantage, that match the aesthetic of the sticker, but none of the dice are from the same set. They are like adoptable orphan dice, because like any good adventuring party, no one comes from the same background and all they work harmoniously together anyway. Found family dice, kids. So you can follow our Patreon link and get that. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up for January's. We will start shipping this weekend. January's design is aggressively barred sexual. And again, all those are going to come with either the pin alone or the pin plus goodies, and that means holographic sticker for the win. Why is this better than just buying the pin outright? Well, if you're subscribing to the Patreon, especially if you're doing it in bulk, like for a whole year at a time, and you get a massive fucking discount, A, if you're taking the discounted route, you get several months basically of free merchandise. Well, it's just right there. B, we don't charge shipping. Like, that's the thing, is the Patreon does not charge shipping. It is essentially like a nice clean, like, you're gonna be able to save money by just subscribing regularly and staying on our merch list there, as opposed to individually ordering pins when they come around. And you get first dibs on the new designs, on pins that come out that may get sold out. We are using this to launch new designs and new swag, and Patreons get first pick. So make sure that you head over there and join. If you just want to support but you don't want any merch, make sure you pick one of the tiers that does not say Pin of the Month. There's plenty of other options for any price range. Should you want to keep the dice rolling over here, we very, very much appreciate it. So, back to you, Cody.
All right. We have friends with us tonight. You guys don't have played with us before. I know Bex has. Don't think the dreaded DM has, but we're happy to have you here. But please take a moment. Tell us who you are. Tell us where people can find you on the internets, on the web, on the dark web, if you want. I don't know why you would. But let us know what you guys do, because we're grateful to have you.
Bex, ladies first.
Okay, sure, yeah. Bex or Becca, multiple names on the internet, as most people do. You can find me at Chaotic Geeky Cosplay on various socials. I do, as the name might suggest, a lot of cosplay and other nerdy things. Yeah, I am happy to be here again. I love hanging out with these guys. It's always so much fun.
We love having you here.
We do love having you here.
Yeah. And our new friend, please.
Yes, I am the new kid on the block here, the dreaded DM. I am on Twitch. I've been streaming a few things here, but I definitely want to focus on Dungeons and Dragons, the RPG Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and so. But yeah, you can find me at the underscore dreaded underscore DM on Twitch and Instagram. I did a stream a while back for a charity, and that was really, really fun. But I'm just happy to kind of expand my experience on different tabletop RPG. So I'm really excited to get to know this one.
Well, I'm excited to figure it out as well. And to that end, that is exactly what we are doing tonight. We are figuring it out. So, for perfect clarity, this is CBR plus PNK. It is designed under the Blades in the Dark overview. So it has a different designer that is by... I have the name right here. I can't say the name. Emmanuel Melo.
No, you can't say the name. We're going to apologize to the creator right out the gate.
Emmanuel Melo?
If there was a U in there or an unya over the N, I would feel much more confident saying it that way. E-M-A-N, and then here's the Cthulhu in it. O-E-L.
Bless you.
Mellow.
Someone tag him and ask him how to pronounce it. We'd like to not fuck it up. We'd like to pronounce it
We would love to do
properly.
it correctly. Yes, desperately.
We respectfully apologize for messing up your name.
Yep. We'll continue to do so until you come correct us yourself.
Exactly.
Because we're the worst.
We are. It is a so it's a great hack that uses it. There's a little bit of references to Blades in the Dark. If you've never played Blades in the Dark, it's kind of a good way to dip your toe into it. It covers much of the same ground with Blades in the Dark. It is not designed for campaign play. It is designed for one-shots. So every game is the runner's last run. And so that is the idea here.
Are we all gonna die tonight? Can we all go out in a blaze of glory? That's the point.
You might. You very well might.
Given my name and the embodiment of my thrown together backstory, I feel like that weirdly fits.
So there we go. It's $6. It's 2 pamphlets. It's really cool. Clearly we're not in association with him because I can't say his name correctly. But do look it up, check it out. It's a good way to check out a very interesting system. So I am going to give you guys a brief overview of the system. There are some differences with Blades in the Dark if you're familiar with that. Keep it in mind, but put it slightly to the side. We're going to keep going. So we have made 3 runners here. You guys have looked over your character sheets. You have an idea of what you are doing. As opposed to having, like stats in Blades in the Dark, like your prowess stat. They are described here as approaches. So it is sort of the attitude, manner, or way in which your character is approaching a particular challenge or a problem. So that can give you up to 2 dice there. If things... We'll get there in a moment. That can give you up to 2 dice there. And then you have your 8 skill points for skills. Very simple, very broad. Close combat, piloting, endurance, range combat, hacking, rigging, influence, sciences, mobility, streetwise, observation, survival. There are no hard, fast definitions of those. So if you think you can make an argument for what you're doing being something, cool. We're going to roll with it. You guys got a free piece of cyberware. That is a nebulous type of equipment that doesn't cost you any load unless it's exceptionally large. And is going to let you guys do some fantastical like things if you push, right? And so the apologies. So for all of your approaches and your skills, you're going to add yourself a d6, and with so you can have potentially, I think, up to 4 with an approach and skills, and then another one potentially for equipment, and then another dice if one of your allies is assisting you. So you can roll potentially up to 6 dice. We're looking for the highest one, and if the highest one is a 6, you win. You're gonna succeed perfectly. You're gonna do exactly what you wanted to do, no drawbacks. If you happen to have a second 6 on another die, so double 6s, wow, that's a critical. Not only do you succeed perfectly, you're going to do it a little better than even you thought you were going to do it, which is really cool. On a 4 or a 5, you're going to succeed, but you're either going to take stress, you're going to take harm or a wound, you're going to cause a small problem for your team, you're going to damage your cyberware or your equipment. Basically, you're going to succeed as much as you want, or with something bad happening, or you're going to succeed not as well. And then, last but not least, is if you get a 1 through a 3, you get no effect, no bonuses, nothing good happens for you, just the bad stuff. And anytime you take harm or a wound, you can attempt to resist it. You're going to describe to me how you resist it, just like any other skill challenge. You're going to roll those dice, and if you crit, you're going to reduce your stress. If you get a 6, you're going to reduce the effect of the harm, but you're going to take some stress. Make sure I'm saying the right word here. Yes, it is stress. It's stress in both. Haha. 4 and a 5, reduce it, but you get more stress. 1 through 3, reduce it, but you get even more stress, all the stress. When you run out of stress, something happens. It causes one of your items or one of your stats or one of your cyberwares to become glitchy. And glitchy means whenever you use that thing, you need to have a specific d6. So for me, it's the metal one, although I'm not playing. Whenever you roll the glitch die with it, a 1 or a 3, 1 through 3 on the glitch die means a complication pops up for you. So this is the way you guys get to keep going. Normally in Blades in the Dark, when you are fully stressed out, you're out of the adventure for that night, and it's like being knocked out. You are left for dead, and you get to come back later, having removed your stress, but having some like mental like problems. When you overload in this, you're going to have to take a turn to regroup, and you become glitchy in either an approach or gear or something like that. So, because it's a one-shot, we're going to keep going. You're not going to be out unless you die. You guys are in it for life or death on this. This system does utilize a few other mechanics that we have seen in the past. So like Elf Spectres, we're not going to plan a heist. You guys are going to get the job. We're going to make an engagement roll. We're going to see how good it's going for you. We're going to jump into the action. If at any point you guys want to change the scenario, say that you did some planning, say that you had prepared for this situation, you're going to do a flashback. It costs you 1 stress to do a flashback, or if it's a super elaborate one, it's going to cost you 2. Okay? You get to decide what happened before that. I might have you make a roll to see how great it went, but you're going to succeed. You did it beforehand. You're prepared. You guys knew all of the things coming in. So the characters knew while the players didn't. And then we're going to cut back to the scene. We're going to pick things up right from there. Okay? I'm going to go with there's no particular initiative, just whoever speaks first goes first. And if I think one person is doing too much, I'll be like, what are the rest of you doing? Because they've kind of been busy. And maybe they're on the sidelines watching. Maybe they're cutting up orange slices. I don't know. The cyberpunk future does still have orange slices, I have decided. So those are the big things. Everybody has decided your load. You've got your stats, you've got your name, and you've got why you're doing this. But don't tell us yet. If you get a chance to reveal that later on, you get some benefits for doing so. Are there any broad questions before we get into our adventure?
You might have already said this, but is there like a short rest mechanic? Is there a way to decrease our stress?
Yes. So you can take a breather once per it's supposed to be once per run. You take a breather, and I think I have the exact wording about it, but taking a breather allows you to remove 2 stress when you do it. I'm gonna say anytime that you overload, basically you have to take a breather and reduce your stress. We're gonna reduce it off overload. We're gonna reduce it 2 more, so you're gonna go back down to 3. So that way you're not just constantly overloading. You have the chance to regroup. Taking a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Harm. Runners. Sprawl. All right. I have to. Where did you go? Oh, yes. You can push. You can mark 2 stress to add a dice or increase your effect. Or that's how you act when you have taken a 3rd level of damage. You can assist for 1 stress. You can give somebody a die. Setup. You can make an action roll. If it succeeds, you give edge to somebody doing the further thing. Flashback. Take a breather. Once per run, convey how the fiction provides you with the opportunity to unwind. Take a pill, turn up the volume, punch a wall, check in with a loved one, pat yourself or another teammate, roll the appropriate approach, add a plus if you bring out your angle, so if you're able to reveal why you're doing this. On a crit, you've been through worse, you clear all of your stress. And you ignore level 1 and level 2 harm penalties for the rest of the run. So even if you've taken that damage, we're going to basically clear it. Okay? On a 6, you clear 3 of your stress. And you're going to ignore level 1 or level 2 penalties for the rest of the run. On a 4 or a 5, you suck it up, you clear 2 stress, or ignore level 1 penalties. And on a 1 through a 3, it didn't go great for you. You're going to take a single stress off. So you get to do the take a breather. It's going to be like an interlude scene once per run. Okay? When you overload, I'm going to give you basically, you're going to take a turn, and we're going to drop 3 stress out of what's going on.
Okay, I think I got it. And then just so I have it clear, to use our cyberware, we have to push ourselves and gain 2 stresses.
Yes, you have to push to gain the benefits of your cyberware. Now, if you have like a fictional benefit of your cyberware, like you to fight somebody with your arm, like I'm going to treat it as a weapon. You're good, right? You don't have to push to do that. But if it's going to do something special for you, then you need to push for it. Okay?
Got it. I'm so excited!
I am glad. Well, I've already dropped something on the floor, so the night is going great. We're on pen number 2, kids.
Only pen number 2? You have an entire studio full of pens. You're gonna be fine.
I got the
Oh my
whole
God.
I got
Yeah,
the
you're
whole
fine.
track here. Yeah.
1 pen, that's a number we can live with.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let's dive in to tonight's adventure now. The year is 2098. And to say that things have been interesting over the past 70 years is a understatement. You have grown up in SE City 3. It is the largest city in the southeastern region of what was once the United States. Broken and divided, the state lines have been erased and reclumped into more, let's say, ideologically aligned ideas. Famously, the Southeast region is amongst the most contentious and divided regions, being ethnically broadly diverse, from Hispanic, African American, Caribbean, Caucasian, just everything and everyone. And it's hot. And people don't know how hard it is to live in a dystopian future when it's hot. And not like Mad Max dry hot. Like wet, swamp, just miserable hot. But as the world has continued to burn around each of us, as we have huddled together in our technologically advanced cities, the damp, oppressive heat of the day often falls away to a bone-chilling mist, fog, and frost-ridden night as extreme temperatures bounce throughout the course of a day. For one reason or another, each of you has made your living here on the edges, outside of corporate life, because the only stable life is a corporate one. Most citizens are born into corporations these days. Most, as they say it, as the independent news sources now report it, they call them the corp generation. First generation born into service, into employment in specific international mega corporations, and who have grown up educated in that system and are now entering the workforce specifically for those corporations. It's a derogatory term on the street, but none of the corp gen would know it because they're never on the street. They live in megaplexes, in corporate havens. There's just enough outside work and outside society for corporations to continue to sell to, just enough for them to continue to compete for. But the handwriting has been on the wall for a while. These corporate states only continue to grow. Outside of those states, there are a number of other dangers, from local gangs, to regions, to independent revolutionary organizations who take a far more radical, break some eggs positions. Not to mention, to accomplish much of anything outside of a corp, you're more than likely paying some organized crime family or group. It is dangerous to make a living day to day. It is exceptionally dangerous for anyone of talent or skill or intelligence to get ahead. You're going to offend somebody. You're going to step on the wrong toe. And that is where your patron for the evening comes in. You guys have done small jobs. Maybe you've done some big jobs. But you've never done the job. Edge runners like you share it, the myth of it, at the bars, at night, when they should have closed, when the bartender paid off the corporate cop for the day. When you stay there because it's more like home than the flat that you haven't paid rent on this week. The job. The job that gets you out. The job that gets you enough money to not just leave the city, leave the region, leave the country, more likely the hemisphere. Maybe a chance to shuffle off to one of those socialist helltopias that you hear has things like medicine and, you know, trees. Everybody dreams about it. In fact, in those stories, it's far more likely that all those people that did the job did it by eating a bullet somewhere on the street. But for good people, for good edge runners like you honor that memory. And like every other dog that's traveled upstate, they've retired. But the dream's alive. About 10 years ago, there was a little more hope. There's a group of human traffickers. People that would rewrite your gene signature through a CRISPR program, give you the DNA of dead people, help you smuggle you out of SE City 3, get you out of the region. Sometimes for payment, those that could afford it. But just as often, those that were broken got the chances to run. They were called runners. You took their name from them. They'd run you out of the city. Scripters rewrote your genome. Keepers were the linchpin. About a decade ago, that organization got broken up, taken apart. except for one person. Richard Gray. The only scripter, keeper, and runner in town. The escape hatch. The show. The only show. You guys have never met Gray, but you know where he works. Everyone does. It's on Broadway. Where else would you go for a show? A tacky-themed Italian restaurant with augmented reality commercials about 20 years out of date. The old school kind that when they would scan your retina or ping your genome would flood your personal digital device with pop-up ads. The obnoxious kind. The kind you couldn't X out of. It's a place that tourists never visit because, God, please shut up. And locals never go because we know better. The cops have watched that place for 8-9 years. They can't see in the windows. The windows are covered again with terrible, terrible ads. But tonight, after a digital summons, a simple message saying, if you're looking for the job, Richard Gray would like to invite you to the show. 9 p.m. See you there. Some of you may have been waiting for hours or gotten there early. Some of you might just be walking up. But as you've waited for 9, a creeping cold turns the wet ground to a thick fog that only serves to highlight every neon, LCD, crystalline laser, augmented reality ad bombarding the street. Two minutes. Everybody going in?
I'd like to briefly welcome our raid. Hello, Seaweed Shay. Seaweed Shay, it's very, very great to have you. We were deep in lore introduction when you showed up, so I just wanted to make sure you knew hi. And,
thank you guys.
Thank
you so
and
much.
And welcome.
Welcome. As you guys make your way towards the door, give me a moment, each of you, and describe just your appearance. Let's start with Pixie.
God damn it, as I'm here looking at art currently.
Okay, let's start with Bex.
Thank you. Bex is ready.
Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I am muted. Yes, there we go. Okay. I am doing a very basic cosplay of my character actually right now.
Which is gorgeous.
Thank you. She is hooded. So you can't really see a lot of her. She's wearing kind of a long black open just coat cloak thing. You can see little like kind of faint silver and white cybernetics just kind of very like just under her skin, kind of glowing very gently every so often. She is trying her best to stay as inconspicuous as possible, which could be anything in this city.
Sure. Absolutely. And dreaded DM?
this individual, about 6'2", has these broad-built shoulders. He's actually wearing a kind of one of those bulletproof vests with just a lot of tactical vests with a lot of pockets. Underneath that, however, he is wearing a kind of like a body armor type shirt, a little bit thicker. One of his arms is completely wrapped in kind of scrap leather. Really short, just kind of just basic short hair, short cut. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Khaki pants, very, very utilitarian. Is that the word?
Utilitarian?
Utilitarian.
Yeah, that's the word. There you go. I can English today.
All right. Khaki pants. Good to know the future hasn't gotten rid of khaki. I'm on board.
No, it's the cheapest color to make. It's just there. Standing up against a wall, probably the last to go in, as she watches, and it's on my sheet that she does caution, is a woman who is wearing a floor-length duster. It is pure black, but everything else is bright and colorful. But this duster it darkens the effect of everything when it's as though pulled over and just silence the light. She's wearing she is your stereotypical when you fucking look up, I'm gonna need you to look up sci-fi sniper girl or cyberpunk cowgirl. She's all over there. She's got long hair. It's mostly like a platinum blonde, but with a couple of bright colored streaks of blue and purple into two long braids. She's got what can only be described as a cowboy hat on, again, black matches. That sort of crop top look. You can see a faint sort of scar around her eyes, just a little bit around one eye where it's like the cybernetic didn't want to behave. And her eyes glint a little bit in the light of her own cigarette before she pulls her duster over to cover the guns hanging from her holsters, and with boots that are, while they don't have spurs and therefore don't clank, they do light up with every step. Little bit, just a little shimmer along the heel, a visual spur, if you will.
I dig it.
I was imagining those old light up Skechers for a second.
Glass door swings open. And you guys begin to make your way inside. Whatever chill there was on the outside is gone. This place is hot. It's warm. And there is the smallest area for patrons to sort of wait to be seated. Immediately upon entering, there are booths, dining booths, directly in front of you. Some tables off to the side. The digital walls are lit up to be a perspective of the New York City skyline. The kitchen actually covers about 3/4 of the building, and the smell and the sounds of food and cooking hit you immediately. It smells great. It smells different than anything, well, maybe not anything, but most of the things you all probably eat in a day-to-day. This is, if not authentic, expensively lab-grown cooking materials. it is not any classier on the inside, but you can tell that there is wealth, for sure. There is one patron, about 5 booths back, sitting facing the door in a gray suit, jacket off, next to him in the booth, sleeves rolled up, eating. The kitchen staff that you can hear. And then there is the doorman, who is inches away from whoever entered first. A gentleman that is beyond 7 feet, dwarfing even our dreaded DM. His muscles, he's in a black suit. It is cut tight to his body, double-breasted with a seamless line, a very stylish future. You guys have been in the business a long time. You can tell a few things. One, the nanofiber is designed to take a shot. The gloves that stretch down to everywhere except for the last knuckle of his fingers are made for impact. And even though it's only the last ends of his fingers, you can tell that he probably wasn't this big or born this tall. That is nanocarbon fiber musculature that you can see rippling underneath the tips of his fingers. It is expensive, effective, and imposing. And you've watched him sort of glance to the back at the patron, who just sort of nods as he continues to cut at his meal. And the doorman looks at you and goes, "All right, let's eat. Come here." And Bex, since you entered first, without much preamble or care for personal space, he begins to pat you down to check you for weapons.
Easy.
Yeah.
Hey, be careful with these.
All
They're
right.
very delicate, okay?
Okay. You want to do business? And we do disarming. Here we go. Whatever weapons you had thought to bring in with you are collected in the booth at the very end by the doorman. They're laid
Hey,
out.
I need you to save that one. My mother gave me that, okay?
He looks at you and is about to say something you are absolutely certain is derogatory about your mother, but as he begins to, you hear from the back, "Enough of that. Come here."
When Tex enters, she, seeing that they are all being patched, she will herself just, no, I got it. I'll put these down myself, thanks. And she will unload and just place directly on the table. She's just doing the Elizabeth Swan thing. Gun. You wouldn't have thought to look here. Gun. Like,
Is there a little one in her boot?
obviously. Are you kidding me? That's they light up to let her know they're charged. If the boots stop glowing, we're fucked.
Even still, you
Yeah,
are
no.
all searched. You make your way back, and you sit down. I'm assuming Beck's in the booth first, followed by Dreaded DM, followed by Pixie on the end, just from the order you guys entered. You sit down, and there is a feast, more or less. definitely in the future, there's bread, garlic knots on the table, the smell of which you can tell they're hot, they're fresh. The marinara, red sauce in a variety of cups and bowls. What might be honestly a chicken cacciatore sort of on the plate, little sides of pastas and things. Not particularly caring that you've sat down or interested terribly in looking at you. There's a man about mid to late 30s. Young to be running this type of operation. Going about his meal. He looks past you for a minute. Looks at his clock. Alright. Well, I suppose that we are going to be doing this with 3 of you. Hopefully your reputations are as impressive as was sold to me. Sandra's never let me wrong before. She'll be your operator for this little run. Need you to pick up a target 2 days hence. Lab outside of the city. Having a procedure done. Won't be easy. Corpse security, initially, in the lab. Unfortunately, our target has some other interested parties. But if you're able to deliver her to me, then you get your ticket punched.
When you say deliver, do you mean all in one piece or would a head suffice?
Complete, whole, breathing,
Alive. Got it.
intact and immaculate. Every scratch, every bruise, every split end is something I will deduct from each of your pay. Does that clarify it for you?
Crystal.
I was about to say literally the exact same thing. I was about to say exactly that. Well then, perhaps it's good you're only going in with 3. We draw less of a crowd, less eyes on us, easier to sneak someone in and out. Wouldn't you say?
In my experience, we ran with 4. But times they change. So, questions?
Where are we finding this immaculate girl you want us to fetch then?
He looks down, and he has what is sort of a digital notebook. And you can see he's been taking notes in it. You can't see what he's writing. From the angle that you're at, it doesn't show up. And he makes a few marks, and then clicks something. And each of your digital devices sort of gives you the small alert. And you open up whatever map app you utilize, and you're given a augmented sort of overhead or street view your choice. That is probably branded, you know, alphabet view. And as you look over it, there's a region of the city that is the northeastern side. It's probably 20 miles from where you're at now. 20 miles of corporate-run institution, education, and research and development facilities. It is pretty deep in corporate territory. It's a relatively small lab. In fact, looks like it's one of those buildings that that was built as like a we're putting up all the really big stuff around here, but while we're doing that, we need a place to like start out. So this was the Holder building. It's 2 stories. It's maybe the size of like a fast food place or two kind of put together. A stuffer shack, 2 stories. Like it's not big. It's not a big lab. But that is the kind of place that it is. And you can tell there's some fencing around it. There is a small parking lot to it. Looks like there is in between this is sort of like a medical compound, kind of looks like. And there are some very tall hospitals around there who probably have a ton of cameras, a lot of security, and it looks like the security of those places probably overlap this place. But this place by itself is mostly inconspicuous. There's a few loose trees or digital reconstructs, probably not genuine trees. And there are some pathways to walk from 2 of the larger nearby hospitals to this particular small place. It's probably might be a lab that does like imaging or something like that. Doesn't really make sense. There's no signage for it.
I didn't bring my water bottle with me.
Any other questions?
Anything you can tell us about security, about what we might run into or who we might run into?
Are we going to get River Tam? Is she in a pod? This feels like a Firefly mission. Like, I'm imagining we're going to get, in my head, she's now River Tam.
Don't know about personal security. I imagine she has, at the very least, a highly trained, very expensive bodyguard. That is less of what I'm concerned about. There are 2 other parties you're going to want to beat here. First is the Open Market Manipulation Organization, oversight organization. You all know that OMO is the corporate version of the SEC, mixed with the FBI. It is the largest corporations who put together their own version of like corporate NATO so that they stopped bombing each other. So that's a pain. Omo's interested in them for a recent series of events. Their corporate status have protected them up until recently, but I've been paying a lot of money to some very particular informants that have let me know that that protection no longer applies. So, looking to extricate them as soon as possible. And secondly, there's a bit of a familial issue. I have it on good authority that their brother is looking to occupy that corporate position. So, they've hired their own personal fixer. DTTV. Which, hopefully, is not as impressive as reputation makes him out to be. A brief sort of scan, checking in with any sort of contacts you may have. The man is a transhumanist psycho. A person who has augmented and replaced so many parts of their body that they are incapable of acknowledging human pain, suffering, or any form of empathy. They are walking terrorists. They are living weapons. Most of them are ex-military, corp security, things like that. This particular one is, well, probably not the most famous. Definitely a pain. So, Omo, the tombstone, court bodyguard, or whatever street gangs you guys decide to run into on the way. I need them in this booth 48 hours. New life, anywhere in the world. New genome, new implants, whatever you want. Deal?
Yeah.
The niña, what condition are we going to be finding her? Is she going to be in is some sort of containment unit, or are we going to be having to escort her here?
Well, from what I heard, she's smart. If you explain the situation, she'll definitely want to get out of there. Beyond that, if she's in a pod, let her finish baking, because I don't need a half rewritten genome of a corporate heir. Alright?
Does she know who you are?
Do you?
Do we?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're pretty sure you know who he is.
Yeah, just making sure. My question is, what?
The way he says it implies that everyone knows who he is.
Yeah. But if she's new, would that have been written out? Essentially, what I'm wondering is she gonna be coming willingly, or are we gonna have to prepare to bring her along without damaging, scratching, splitting any hairs?
Well, she's probably not my biggest fan. We have some familial history. But beyond that, I'm her best chance of getting out of town. So, in fact, I'm her only chance of getting out of town. Same with you. So, if she wants to stick around for the Omo, or for the tombstone, let her. Won't penalize you for it. Won't pay you for it. But I won't penalize you for it.
Does she have a name? Would that knowledge help us in this run?
Yeah. Tatiana Kincaid. He pauses as he says it, because and he sort of grimaces. The Greater Kincaid Corporation is the largest employer in the Southeast region. It is one of the top 5 mega corporations in the world. It is a leading innovator in biotech, in gene therapy, in splicing theory. The Tatiana Kincaid is a type of famous we don't have in this modern era. Before whatever therapy she's going through right now, her current image is as recognizable as the golden arches of McDonald's. Now she changes about every 5 to 7 years. Looks like she's on the verge of doing that now. But the challenge that is laid out for you, the value of the target, and the dangers associated with it, this is not understated.
Suddenly all of it makes sense.
This is the job. He offers you each a garlic knot for you to mull that over.
I take it.
It's buttery. It's greasy. Tastes really good. Warm. Collect your things. I'll see you in a few hours. You all gather up your gear and begin to make your way out. I would like the players to tell me. You can discuss it outside of character. How would you guys like to approach this? Do you want to go in guns blazing? Do you want to try to stealth in? Do you want to try to perform some social manipulation? What style of job are you guys going to start this as? It can change. It's going to change as the game progresses. But I just need to know what the beginning idea here is.
Given my particular skill set and also the fact that we know multiple groups are going to be gunning for her, I would say careful approach.
Mm-hmm.
I would say careful approach. We probably cannot do a lot of like tactical planning in only 48 hours. But we can do enough. We can do enough to have we're not just running in guns blazing. We can if we can rapid fire through some contacts, if any of us have any people he did say we run with 4. Maybe we can recruit 1 more that he'd be willing to split this reward with. Maybe if there's someone we know that we can find a contact who would be able to get in and out of there or something.
So,
Careful.
all of those sorts of things are flashback things. I just need to know, which is perfectly fine. You can use your flashbacks to do those things. It is just the place where I need to know where we're starting at.
I'd like to start having succeeded and then just flash back everything to see how we got there. But like, I'd like to start at all of our funerals, but like she's safe. Dramatically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No? There you go.
Sure.
I think a quiet approach. Yeah. Cautious,
a careful approach
is
None of
what...
us seem like guns blazing, although Tex can when she needs to. She doesn't start there. That's the end game usually, but she doesn't like to start at high noon.
So what I'm hearing is a stealth approach.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Before I forget,
Mm-hmm.
as we regather our stuff, I would like to, once we're outside, check if he put any trackers in them. Trackers, cameras, upgrades. If he did a goddamn thing to be like, I've sent them to get her, they better fucking bring her back. Like, nothing to the guns, nothing. Okay, great. Cool.
No, you're actually a little insulted he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, which brings me to believe he might be the person sending 90 different groups to find her. It might not be, there's other people going after her. It might be, I've sent a lot of people after her. Hope one of you succeeds. Like,
maybe. You don't know.
yeah,
But
that's her instinct at present.
that's fine. A good instinct to have. Then, I think we're gonna go into the heist. So, you guys don't need to do any specific planning. You do all of your planning in flashback. We are going to join the heist in action, and as you are making a stealth approach, it is going to be the we do an engagement roll, and we pick up at the first basically the first sign of trouble, right? And then we're gonna go from there. I would like each of you to roll me a single d6.
First roll of the night. A4.
I got a 1.
Oh no.
I've got a 5.
All right, sure.
Sounds good. So, you guys have got a vehicle. You've got your gear. You've made your contacts. You have timed it so that you have 2 hours left in the timer. You know about 20 minutes is the drive back. And you know she was in gene therapy pods up until about 7 minutes from now. You've got the vehicle in place to extricate as close as you can, but you couldn't drive all the way up to the actual parking lot. So you're going to have to move her across part of the larger medical compound, right? And it's as you're making your approach to the gene facility, the small building that she is in, that some sort of pileup or some you don't actually know, but basically what you see is about a trail of like 4 EMT hover things come flying into the area, and the very shaded, very stealthy and quiet approach that you had been working on underneath these trees in a very dark area is suddenly lit up by some unexpected sirens and flashing lights. And the nearby guards that the corporate security, low-level corporate security, you know that they're armed. They don't really care if they shoot you. They'll just take you into the hospital and be like, I don't know, you fell. But they're also not terribly skilled. Spot you. And they're doing the, hey, where are you going? Who are you? What are you doing? And they're making their walk up. And you see there's about 6 of them, and one of them is kind of radioed in to the other people that watch the doors. And they're all closing in within about a football field of size. One is probably halfway to you, and you've got about a football field to go to get to the facility. What would you guys like to do?
So at this point, are we able to like do a flashback to plan already, or like...
If you want to, if you yeah, if you want to use a flashback to get yourself out of this particular moment, you can. I would manage your stress carefully. That is my bit of advice. What would you guys like to do?
Doing a flashback causes stress.
Causes at least one
Correct.
stress. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how close are they to us at this point?
50 yards is probably the closest to.
Are my cyber eyes capable of recalling or tracking here in the space blueprints of any kind?
Sure.
I would like to focus on if I can do a quick scan and be like, yes, I remember from the blueprints, and now looking at where we are, that if we go here and here, we can lose them in the storage rooms, or we can lose them in the cafeteria and blend in. Like, if there's anywhere I know we can go.
Tell you what, yeah, we'll call it a flashback. Roll me a. So this is part of your setup.
Yeah.
Gonna ask you to make a roll. We will call it caution.
Yeah.
And
observation.
I was gonna say survival or streetwise.
Well, sure. Okay. So I roll both of those numbers.
Yes.
I have nothing in streetwise or survival, which is why I was saying observation.
So roll a single die.
A single die for either of those.
I think it's if you have 0 dice. So yeah, I'll let you roll 1 die on observation. Go for that.
Okay, and then my 2 for caution. Yeah.
Yep.
Great. So 3 total.
Yep.
All right. It knew. A 6, a 1, and a 5.
All right. Yeah, as a 6, yeah, you can. You do know that there is. What would you like to try to lose them through?
I would like to try to lose them. In if there's like a visitors area where people go and sit with like patients that are or they're waiting, or like if there's like a.
So this is kind of the courtyard in between all the hospitals.
Yeah.
And it has its own sort of small building, and I had you guys walking up to that building.
Yeah.
So.
I wasn't sure if there was anything in that building that could be disappeared into.
You can try, yeah. I mean, you have to kind of outrun them to just get to the building.
Okay.
If you want to do that, and then if you beat them there, you can then lose them in the building.
We can try. I don't want to make the decision for the whole team.
Coil has stepped forward in between, kind of to create space. Or to create a spacer in between the two of you and the guards that are coming. I've just kind of stepped forward just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty short fusey, so I'm like, my fists are like getting ready to throw down.
Okay.
Because our sneakiness is already thrown out the window.
I'm okay with
I'm
trying to...
just kind of waiting until they approach. get close
I'm
enough
okay with
for
trying
that.
to lose them.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? They're closing in. You guys are, two of them are within about 25 yards at this point. One of you is kind of standing in between the others. Looks like he's getting ready to fight. Is Coil. I have Coil, Tex, and what is the third name?
Avery.
Avery. Tex Avery. Sounds good. Let's do it, Looney Tunes. What are you guys... Tell me what you're doing.
Getting
All right, you got
inside then. Picking up the pace.
Okay, so you're gonna
Yes.
just make a run for inside. Okay. Yeah.
So we're running. Are we trying to run into one of the hospital buildings, or we're trying to just make a break for the lab that we're trying to get into?
I would like to try to, and ideally, I'd like to try to run into that center building and then go all the way through and exit out another door.
Okay, so you wanna
I don't think this is our end game location.
you wanna run through another hospital and then to the gene therapy building.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
Great.
to make
Yes.
it not look like we're directly going to the gene therapy building. Like, I don't want to be like, they've disappeared in this building with this high target. Like, you know,
Sounds good.
That.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. If you're running, go ahead and make me a mobility check. However you would like to give me an approach and make it a mobility check.
Okay.
So when, in terms of the approach, we select one of the 4 categories that would possibly fit in.
Yep.
And then, okay.
I mean, is it weird to be going to a hospital at this time? We don't have to run. We could pretend like this is where we've been going the whole
Exactly.
time.
That's what I was kind of like. I kind of wanted to look like we got lost and we were just visitors, which is why I was saying if we could find a visitors area. But
Okay, so you guys have described different things. Are you trying to outrun them? Are you trying to convince them that you are normal clients and people? Are you trying to hit them? Like, are you just trying to run to the therapy building? You're trying to run away from the therapy building? You have said all of these options. I need you to decide what you're doing.
it was genuinely just imagining if you've ever been in that position where like you hear a security guard talking to you, but you know you're in the right place. So you just ignore them unless they happen to catch up, and then you're like, "What? Oh, I didn't know you were talking to me. Sorry." Like I know where I'm going.
That is different than what was initially described. If that is what you would like to do, that is okay. I just need to know what it is.
That's my suggestion.
Okay. Yeah. I think we are going for a non-engaging approach, but we're not trying to be suspicious about it. Like we're not going to
exactly.
we're not going to run for the building. We're like we're here. We're here.
We're trying to avoid engaging, and at some point, if they go, "Oh shit," they know where they're going. They were just lost, like, and they wander off. Great. And if they talk to us, well, oh, sorry, like, never been here before. Like, got fucking lost. Like.
Great. Okay. So so you guys just keep your head down. You continue to head towards a different hospital, not the gene therapy building. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Within about 30 seconds, 2 of the guards are in front of you. You see them. They are wearing their black uniforms, short sleeves. They have the Kincaid Medical Center security badge on them. You can see on the hip, looks like there is some carbon fiber pistols on their hips. The gloves are definitely shock gloves. Pretty, I won't say like over-the-counter gear, security gear, basically. Sorry.
You're rent-a-cops.
Excuse me. Where are you guys going?
Well, I thought it was pretty obvious we were going into the building here, into the hospital.
Yeah, where are your visitor badges? You guys are way outside the visitor center here.
Tex is gonna pull out a cigarette and we just stepped out for a quick breath of air. Didn't know we had to bring him out with us.
Yeah, no, that's you have to have the badge on you all the time. That's why it's
I
printed on
told you
the
we were
sticker.
supposed to bring them.
Okay, well,
with
I've never been
us.
here before.
Listen, I tried to explain when my mother was in a place like this. We came all the goddamn time, but she didn't want to listen to me, sir. I respect what you're trying to do here. I've been trying to tell this one she can't get away with everything with just her looks. Look at her, isn't she pretty? Don't answer that.
All
I've been
right.
telling you, you can't get away with. She's just gonna bicker. Like
I'm gonna need the three of you to come with me to the visitor center. We'll get all of this.
sir, if you would
sorted out.
just, we are really supposed to be back in. I should not have been smoking in the first place. Gonna be upset with me. If you wouldn't mind, we'll just make sure not to do it again. I'm so terribly sorry. She's gonna start walking like toward the door, like as though I'm so sorry, and also like I should not take these away from me. She just like hands them to Avery, like.
So
And I'm just gonna go.
so I need you to make a influence check.
Great.
All of us,
I'm,
or just Tex?
I'm gonna say text right now, and I'm gonna say it's aggressive.
Okay, that's fine.
An aggressive influence check, because just so that we are clear, effect 2. You'll at least, if you're successful on a 2 effect, they will at least kind of pause and let you go back into the hospital.
Okay.
On a fail, you're gonna add the problem security scan.
That feels right.
Because they're just gonna, if you don't have the badge on you, then they won't scan the badge. They'll just scan your face and see that you guys didn't check in.
Really hoping that doesn't
front.
happen.
So.
Oh my god. This is the kind of game where I wish that the audience could influence and like give me and like buy re-rolls for us or whatever. 'Cause it's fucking stressful. That fell into my crotch. 6! Oh my god! I will take a picture of this shit.
Okay. You're
hands?
good.
No, I'm showing. It's the one that rolled over there. A6. A6. Okay.
Okay. So on a 6, you get the effect that you are looking for. You sort of brush past these two, and you can hear that they're not going to follow you, but they do radio it in, like, hey, we've got some people wandering around the radiology grounds. Just be aware. Keep an eye out for them. They've lost their badges. Blah blah blah. So you guys have turned away from those guards. You are now traveling away from the gene therapy center towards this large radiology building. You make it to the doors. They open up. I am going to let you guys know that here, because you initially weren't heading towards this large state-of-the-art hospital, the cameras that are here do a wide variety of scans for biometrics, for genealogy, and for just for identification. Bex, apologies, Avery, because of your cybernetics, and this is actually something I meant to tell you about, Gray. Your cybernetics sort of pulse up in light for the digital cameras and communicate for you specifically a code that disrupts. Basically, it programs the digital camera to see what you have programmed the face to be. Even though you currently look a specific way, you can program the digital camera to see something else. And you recognize that Gray actually had sort of a QR coded version of that in his retina for the retina scans. But the rest of you, unless you have,
can my retinals do that?
if you want to flash back and call that a preparation, or if you want to use that as part of the gear of your
I was going to look at disguise and wondered
loadout.
if that was something that could count.
That, if you want to put that in
Absolutely,
your
I do.
disguise, if you want to check that out off your
Done.
gear, That can be.
I like the fact
part
that
of
we
it.
can, for the audience who isn't looking at our sheets, we can add. And I asked Cody, I was like, "Do I have to pick my gear now?" And he said, "No, you pick your gear in the moment as it becomes relevant, but you can pick up to this amount." I was like, "What? Fucking cool! Like, I love this system already. I love this system."
So I think we set you at normal.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can have up to 5. One thing I would like each of you to do, roll me a d6 real quick.
Okay.
I'm looking for the highest.
A 6.
Okay,
5.
Shit, you not.
cool.
4.
4.
Guys like me tonight.
So 6. So you guys have 6 creds, but between you, that is not a specific amount. I need to know who has. So 2 for each would be the obvious way to go about it. Basically, creds are anytime that throwing money at it would solve a situation, you can check one of those off. Or it can be used for something like ammo, something that is expendable that you may have already used, but you have extra of because you had the creds to use it. So they're a specialty kind of gear, right?
Okay, that's cool.
So go ahead and add those 2. So I've got 2 of you that are disguised enough to make your way in there. What do we have for... You got the disguise as well?
Yeah, because so just so I have it understood.
Yeah.
Our equipment, we can just like as Chaos Pixie over here has just stated, we can just throw it on there as we need it, or as we need it in the scenario.
But I can't decide. That is, the spot is locked in. If
Yes.
I 4 or 5 locations in, we realize I really need a cyber deck and I never got one, and then we're fucked. I'm screwed. It's a
But
gear
once
economy.
we use it, it's locked in.
Yes.
But until we
but-
use it, it's whatever that's listed.
That's
there.
why just
Perfect.
generally it's weapons.
Yep.
Full stop. I
That's
haven't
awesome.
had to do a specific weapon thing yet. I just know I have them. Like,
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Yes.
Then yes, disguise. I throw up a thin blanket, almost like a thin skin-like thing over my face.
Yeah,
That
it's
mimics
sort of a cellophane
Avery.
piece that suctions over your face. It is a far less permanent, not nearly as effective as like the full integrated piece that Avery has. The biggest issue is that like the curves can sort of create an uncanny valley kind of effect, but it definitely is enough to fool the cameras and most people on a passive sort of scan. And there are plenty of reasons that people put them on, maybe not in a hospital, but out on the street. A lot of people wear second skin faces. So you guys have made it into this radiology lab. You are trying to find a way to swing your way back around to the gene therapy building. Talk to me about what you guys are doing in this moment.
Tex is using her, while they try to look casual and blend in, Tex would like to use her cybernetic eyes and knowledge of the blueprints to chart a path, to the other building that they need to go to. I'm assuming it would be too broken to be like, I can't Marauders map this shit. I can't see where other people are, probably, but like, I'm just trying to chart out, okay, if we hang a left at this lab and then we break through the back, we go through the back door into this small courtyard and then we immediately turn it into this other building, we can just avoid detection as much as possible.
So,
like,
so if you want to Marauders map, you can. There is a way you can do it. But what you're talking about doing is you need to have a cyber deck. You need to hack the hospital security system so that you can track the movements of everybody that is on that network, right? And so that is doable. Absolutely. Yeah.
that feels like too early to be adding a second gear to my list, as I mentioned.
I mean, it is up to any, if you, so to do it just with your cyber eyes, you're gonna have to push. It's going to have to cause some. It's going to have to cause some stress.
Then I'll get the cyber deck. I'll do the thing. That's fine.
I mean, you also don't have to be the only one to do it. I don't know if you have any hacking skill.
I do actually, don't I?
Do?
I have. No hacking.
Nope.
I have rigging.
You
Never
have
mind.
rigging.
Two different things.
I have hacking. I could have a.
Can we
could do it?
That fucking great.
Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm going to set up two. I'm going to set up 2 clocks, right? So you guys are not terribly far. So it's going to be a 04 clock on hacking, and we're going to set up a 04 clock on mobility, streetwise, survival. That's going to be the movement portion of it, right? And because it's not, you're not doing the most like illicit of like cybernetic hacks, right? It's going to be the basic cybersecurity protocols that are, you're accessing a part of the program that you shouldn't be, but you're not rewriting things. You haven't done anything that's going to set off like Black Ice attempt to kill you digital programs yet. But if it gets to you, it's going to disconnect you, and it will alert personal security to come and be like, hey, you got to get out. Okay, so looking for to start us off, looking for a hacking check. You can choose your approach. We're going to set it at 2 and 2. So if you succeed, you're going to you can get on a critical 3, on a regular 2, on a 4 or 5 2 with a problem, or a 1, and on a 1 through 3 1 with a problem, right? That's the progress. Or on the low one, you'll start to give progress to the hacking program. Is how this works. All right. Whichever one fills up first is the winner. Okay, loser,
All
whatever
right.
it may be. So yeah, tell me how you're doing this hacking.
Okay, so this is going to be, I think, approach-wise, I'm going to use smartness, and
Okay.
then obviously hacking. So I have
What-
2 in smartness and 2 in hacking.
Awesome. What does your cyber deck look like? Whatever you want.
that's a-
Yeah, tell me.
Great question. I think it's going to be like very inconspicuous looking itself. Like the system itself doesn't have a screen. I think it's all going to be like hollow.
Okay.
So it's going to be a little just like palm thing that I can just pop up and futz with.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Sounds great. So you guys are in the hallways. There's some doctors, some nurses kind of walking by. You look a little out of place, and you guys are like, oh, we got to kind of move some stuff along. You open it up, and you start to establish the connection. Go ahead and roll me your check, and I will give you, because you just spent it to acquire the cyber deck, I'm going to give you one on one for equipment. An extra
Okay.
die for equipment.
So how many am I rolling total then? Am I rolling?
You had smartness, which is,
I have 2 in smartness and 2 in hacking.
so roll 5.
5. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What am I looking for? I did get a 6.
Okay. Do you have 2 6s or 1 6?
Just 1 6.
Okay. Great. So you lock into the system. You are going to put 2 on your hacking clock, right? And so you lock into the system. You start to expand out. You send out sort of a signal ping that picks up everybody that is on the network, everybody that is part of the security, all the logged in visitors and stuff. You can kind of see Marauder's map style, those little things. You can share this information with your 2 teammates. Obviously in the eyes, and a personal digital device for not Tex, not Avery.
Coil.
Coil. I'll write that down. One of you does not follow the theme of the others. Okay, Coil. So you can share that stuff. Now you're in the network. You can sort of see where everybody's going. You're going to try to stealth your way out of here and make your way back around to the other side. So I'm going to need some sort of movement test from... I'm actually going to up this clock because it's going to be a group challenge. So I'm looking for a total of 8 progress for the entire group. But you guys can all make checks to contribute to that. So I'm talking things like mobility, streetwise, survival, maybe even influence if you got to talk your way past one person.
I'm gonna add an influence die then, because I don't have any of the other skills.
Okay, I've got mobility, and then do we have to pick an approach as well for that?
Yes, please. Yeah,
Okay.
Please pick the approach that you guys
One
are.
for mobility, sorry.
All right, so this will probably be caution and mobility for a total of 2 then
Cool.
I'm doing
Okay,
for me.
go ahead. Sorry.
I am also doing caution and mobility, but for a total of 3.
Okay.
Fuck me.
In terms of skills,
Uh-huh.
we choose only one of the skills.
Only
correct?
one of the skills currently, yes.
Got it. I would argue that Coil would walk with purpose, like he is supposed to be where he's at.
Okay.
So I would argue that would be an aggressive
Aggression.
approach. Yeah.
Okay. I would say aggression and influence then.
Okay. So you're okay. You want to pair those two together?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
So,
Hmm.
so just to talk you guys through this.
Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll. Well, that's that. Yeah, because I can't do caution. I got empathy. I don't even know how we'd use empathy.
I mean, empathy is trying to relate. It says charisma, diplomacy, leadership. So
Okay.
you know, it's you're not actively hiding,
Mhm.
right? You people are seeing you, but you are expressing. You know, you are engaging with them in such a way that they're not questioning why you're here. A similar way to the aggression, but instead of putting out that force of personality that's like, don't question me, it's, hey man, I'm real sorry for what you're going through. I feel ya. I gotta go. I got my own problem. You see what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Then I would rather do approach. And would you say, well,
think
I don't
about
know,
it
'cause I
for
would
think about it for
argue
just a second.
using
I'll come right
mobility.
back to you. Tex, what was your approach?
Caution,
Okay, and what was your skill?
mobility.
Okay, so because caution and mobility, you're trying to hide, I think that is extra effective in the scenario. You've set it up to be that way, so I would give you effect of 3, and the target or the threat. That's it. T is for threat. Threat of
Doesn't
1.
matter.
So a
Doesn't
lower.
matter.
threat.
I got all ones.
You got all 1s. That
all
is a
3 of
No.
them were 1s.
wow.
She
All
has
right.
broken the hospital.
So
That's
that-
it.
So that is a critical fail.
Yes, I'm aware.
Now, I mean, they don't even have those in this game, but I'm gonna make it one.
We
now.
invented them for
We
me.
invented it for this. So normally, you guys pick your approach and your skill, right? And I tell you the effect. So if you succeed, how much it'll add or add to your progress, or the threat, how much it'll take away, or how dire the fault would be. Because you chose, I thought, a very effective approach and skill. You failing at it was just going to give you one flaw, right? But I'm actually going to make it a 2.
Because I failed hard.
You failed real hard. So instead of a one check problem, it's going to be a 2 check problem,
You're
and
all
I'm going to
welcome.
call it. I'm going to call this one nosy nurse.
Oh no.
So some nurse has seen Tex walking where they shouldn't have been, just caught a glimpse of those glowing shoes, and is like
It was the shoes.
is starting to follow and be like, hey, who is that? They're not supposed to be here. What did you get, Avery?
I got a 6 and a 4.
On
Caution and mobility.
caution mobility. Great. Yeah. So I'm going to give you 3 successes on that. So you're adding to 3 of the 8, making some good progress there. And Coil, what did you settle on?
Yes, so I actually want to settle on using my smartness based on the Avery's description on where people are at. I want to time my pace to essentially avoid, like, as soon as somebody turns the corner, I turn the corner and just kind of just avoid
Sure.
people, but kind of walk briskly at times, walk slowly at times, just wherever. And so I want to do smartness as my approach and then mobility as my skill.
Cool. I think that's a solid one.
Nice.
We'll call it 2 and 2. That's the average setup for most things. So cool. Let's do it.
And that's 3 total. That is, my highest die is a 6.
Great, and no 2 6s. So we're going to add 2 to the progress of the movement. You guys are at 5 of 8 on that clock. And we added Nosy Nurse, and we have the cybersecurity. So that is at a 1 of 6, just because they continue to track the longer this goes. So you guys have continued to make your way down and around through the church, through the hospital. Maybe you went through the church, the
Through
church,
their little chapel that they
the
have
chapel
in the
of
hospitals. Yeah.
roboticism.
Yeah.
Absolutely, a nice Futurama reference for everybody.
Oh God, I'm scared now.
So you guys have spent a chunk of time on this. Give me the same checks again, just as you continue to make your way, or if you want to change them up, you're welcome to. But make a decision on it. Roll the dice. I'll
The
tell
nurse
you.
just wants to ask Pixie where she got her hat or shoes from. That's it. There
That's
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 is my highest.
Okay.
I got exactly the same thing, a 6 and a 4.
Great.
I've got a 5.
Cool. So with the 5s, you guys do add your progress to it. It is going to bump the cybersecurity up to the 3, and the Nosy Nurse to a 1. But at the same time, you're just making your way outside of the radiology building, back out into the courtyard. If you can stay connected to the network if you want, and the cybersecurity will continue to track you, or you can disconnect and make a break for the radiology building.
For the, you mean the
For the gene therapy building. Yes.
there we go.
Does it look like if we break now, we have a clear path?
Yeah, you guys are outside. You're outside. Looks like you've got a pretty clear shot. Those guards are still around. They might try to come back over, but they are much further away than the kitty, who is making a wonderful cameo.
As is apparently tradition on these streams.
Very true. Very true.
For those of you who are new to the streams, this is Billy. She likes being on camera, and yeah.
And she's adorable.
And she's adorable.
Awesome. So this is up to you, Avery, because you're the one with the cyber deck. You're the one locked into the network. What would you like to do?
Okay, I say if we have a clear shot, we should disconnect and break for it.
Okay, so you disconnect for it. Let's go ahead and I'll take mobility, streetwise, or survival checks just as you cross the yard. See if looking for a last ditch effort to see if that nosy nurse pops her head out to catch up with you or not.
Mobility, streetwise, survival plus an approach, or just
Yeah, always with an approach.
Okay.
Yeah, any of those with an approach.
I'm going to use smartness for this one, so I'll do it's be a 3 total.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, let's get it, Avery.
5 is the highest one.
5 is the highest one. The nurse is going to continue to follow you guys, but you are just making it into the gene therapy building, and you see her across the courtyard. It's dark. She's outside, kind of looking around. She's very confused, but you don't think it's turned into a bigger problem. So you guys make your way across the courtyard. You are in the gene therapy building. It is dark. The building does not look like it's open. The only light that's in here is the emergency exit signs that are sort of lit up. Now you know it's 2 stories. You're on the first floor. There's a reception desk. There's some seating areas. Very doctor's office. What would you guys like to do?
Do we? I assume we kind of know where we have to go.
Yeah. So you know
part.
she's up. I apologize. Yes, she's upstairs. You know that's where most of the facilities are. The labs are is upstairs. There's 3 labs set up in a hallway. You would guess she's probably in the biggest lab, given her nature, but you don't know 100%. There is an elevator. You don't know if it has power, and there's some stairs. And yeah.
Okay. I say we take we see if the stairs are open.
Okay.
Yes, stairs.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys do head for the stairs. You open the door. It is the back and forth, right? So up, little landing, up the other way, style of stair. Tall roofs in this building. So while it's 2 stories, 2 floors, it's probably like 3 stories in height. As you guys are making your way up there, in the stairwell at the top, there is a large window that normally would let in some natural light. There is a bright light shining through it.
Uh-oh.
Like
to the outside, or
from the outside
From the
in.
outside.
Outside in.
outside in? Okay.
Yes. It is not it's not daylight. It's not natural light, and it looks very focused. It's not it's not just like the light of one of the hospitals nearby.
Yeah, it's a spot. It's kind of like a spotlight.
This is a vehicle coming to get her, or someone shining a light into the building, or something. We're
Since it
guessing.
was dark outside when we entered, we would have seen that this spotlight was not shining when we entered the building, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Or if
it
it
might have been.
wasn't.
It's kind of on the opposite side of the building.
Oh, okay.
So, and you
Okay.
guys were a little
it's not
distracted
clear.
by nurses and such.
Okay. So not clear if it was already shining.
Right. It may have beaten you there.
Okay. We know she's upstairs. I would like to
Yeah.
is there we know she's up. I apologize. We know she's upstairs. We don't know what room she is in, or we're pretty sure she's in the room that has the light shining into it
So
specifically.
the light is shining in the stairwell.
The stairwell. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh, great. All right.
Is it pretty hard not to get caught in it, or kind of can we see and stay down low for a second while we?
It would be a check. It would be a single success or fail mobility check.
Okay.
It would have to either be aggression or caution, to either just like burst past it or really struggle to hide your way through it.
Hiding behind a kitty tail. I don't know what you guys are
Yeah,
talking
obviously.
Yeah,
No, you're
I
totally
mean-
fine.
Yeah.
Can we possibly can we
Hard.
yeah no, the tactic, I love this system so much,
Great.
but it's terrifying.
about.
Can we all right, I'm gonna propose something that doesn't often go well. I'm gonna say, boy, I'm gonna waste a spot in my gear on this, but I would very much like to have a grappling gun.
Okay.
All right, we have 2 choices here.
Infiltration gear. Is that what you're checking off?
That's what I'm checking off.
Okay.
We have 2 choices here. 3, actually, the way I see it right now. We could, as my daddy used to say in some weird game he played, we could split the party. Never seemed to go well, but might work for us. And have 2 y'all go upstairs like that, and I'll try and get all the way to the roof, but through the elevator shaft without waking up the elevator. I think waking up the elevator is a mistake right now. But you go up the elevator shaft using. And she pulls one of the many guns using this little baby. Elsewise, we could all try to go up there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we have the time to take y'all down up and down individually. And the third one is just plow our way through, or all try to get through the light there. But if someone's caught, I'd rather have a surprise waiting, and I'm fine being that surprise. I was gonna try and get up on the roof anyway and snipe anyone who tried to come our way.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. Is there no? I mean, we could check the elevator shaft, but I think if we want to be a little bit more quiet, there should be some sort of climbing, maybe like escaleras. You're
talking about a ladder, like a maintenance ladder, maintenance shaft.
Yes.
Is there a maintenance shaft? That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
I would like to check my scans.
I'm
fully invested. I will lose sleep over this story tonight. That's what we like to hear.
For the because it's such a short elevator, there isn't like a full-on maintenance shaft. If you're at the top, you can kind of reach everything. If you're at the bottom, you reach the rest of it, right? Like, it's not that big, but it's only a story. Like, you guys can probably hoist each other up there if you got on top of the elevator. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to then, I still have the infiltration gear.
Yeah.
Should we need to grapple down at the end?
Yeah, absolutely.
I still have it.
Yeah.
But I would like to try to head up the elevator shaft. If we need a distraction, someone can go run through the light and let themselves be seen.
Okay.
We know that it's there.
Great. So you guys are all heading to the elevator shaft together at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And I will give you a boost, Tex.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Let's use your infiltration gear.
To open the elevator shaft?
Yeah, to open the elevator, get up into the shaft. So I will take that. I'm going to say sciences or rigging.
I can rig!
Cool.
Rig! And caution, because I'm trying to do it quietly.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, phenomenal. We're doing it carefully, closely.
You can do it.
Softly, trying to avoid cameras, if at all possible, but it's very dark in here, so that's fairly helpful. 6! 1 6. A 6, a 4, 2, but 1 6.
Perfect. Yeah, opens up. Yeah, you get inside the elevator, you open up the roof of the elevator. You can tell that it's on backup power. Right now, it's not on, like, full operation.
That doesn't feel good. Somebody has shut this down on purpose. Someone's already here.
There you go.
Someone's already fucking here.
So you guys can get up to the second level. You could, in theory, move the elevator so that you guys were, like, standing on top of it. It's got to go up, like, 5 feet, and you could open the doors then, but it would make noise. So that's up to you.
So the elevator is down on this floor right now?
Elevator is on the ground floor. You can stand on top of it, and if you're standing on top of it, you can reach up and reach, like, the bottom of the next floor. Well, especially Coil. Coil's very tall. So you can just sort of get boosted up there. But if you wanted to stand comfortably, you could also move the elevator if you wanted.
I don't think we should do that.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not even going to make you make another check. Well, it's up to you. You can just open the doors and try to hoist people in there, but now with the sound of it being that there are potential bad guys up there, do you want to make any efforts to carefully, cautiously, quietly open those doors?
I'm gonna say yes. Quiet as we can. My thought was this. I still think the element of surprise is going to work in our favor. Can I get up one more floor and go to the roof from the elevator shaft?
Yeah. You can go to the roof. Yeah.
Because I would very much like now at this point, I'm assuming we have some way of communicating with each other.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Earpieces.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard in those kinds of quests.
Absolutely.
And yes, Cody does adventuring ASMR. Basically, people often fall asleep to his storytelling because his voice is very soothing. But I would like to. I'm not going to call it a flashback. I'm just, like, for stress reasons, just for story reasons, so she doesn't have to explain herself. She's going to say, Remember the window plan? I think it's about goddamn time. Essentially the plan being she goes up top. And yeah, should she need to come in through a window, she will rappel down and come in shooting. But is ready to go to a sniper post essentially, or a waiting post.
I will let you know. The only windows to the second floor are the staircase,
Okay.
and a hallway. So the actual gene therapy rooms, like the labs.
But that means where they're gonna have to get her out. If they are getting her through any kind of door, they'll have to go by a window. Like
Sure,
if
sure,
they can't
yeah.
get her out of the room without walking down that hallway, that's fine.
Absolutely.
That's a fine window to perch by.
Out on board. Just wanted to make sure
We understood.
it was known.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got your infiltration gear. You take that up to the second floor. Don't need to worry about the noise there because the door is still closed. So you ride the elevator to the roof. Sure, it has roof access on board. What is everybody else doing?
I think we're going in through the elevator doors.
Through the elevator doors. Okay. Who's opening them?
I don't know.
Thanks.
It's just the two of you. I'm up. I'm gone.
It's gone. It's okay.
I think, well, I don't know. I feel like you're more suited to prying open a set of elevator doors.
Yes, I will. I'll try to make it quiet, but I can't promise nada. And so I'll just go ahead and just slowly as. No, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna yank him open.
Okay. So we'll call it aggression. I'll give it to you either close combat or endurance.
Is this like when you are
Maybe
like
survival.
trying to
Combat.
open something quietly in church and you go, no, one noise. Like, one
Yeah.
noise.
Or that one bag and you're like slowly increasing your strength and it just goes poof,
Yeah.
just like that. I'll do aggression and close combat.
Okay. Let's do it.
And that's 4. And that's a 6.
Nice.
Only a single 6, solo 6.
Okay. So it makes a little bit of noise. I mean, it has to, but it is done quickly. And yeah, it is open. You guys don't have a clear line of sight down the hallway just yet because you're there.
In that little well.
Cool. Who's going in? Who's going down the hallway first?
I'll go.
Okay. Do me.
Dama.
You start to head down the hallway. The doors have opened up. So Avery, you're starting to make your way down. Coil, you are right behind her.
Yes.
What I would like right now is for Avery, make me. It is a pure luck roll. So it is a flat D6. And Tex, give me an observation
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
As
That's
you-
why I went up here.
Yeah, once you're on the roof.
Anything plus observation or just observation?
Well, you choose an approach, so it's up to you.
Cautious observation it is.
Let's do it.
But mine is just flat D6.
Flat D6, yeah, pure luck.
Just for the picture of what cautious observation is, it's that you press yourself against the wall and you use a mirror to look out
Sure.
before you it's all of that nonsense, you know?
Got it.
All right, it was a 5.
A 5. Okay.
1-6.
1-6. 1-6 is what we were looking for.
I hate.
So, Tex, as you're on the roof, very carefully, Metal Gear Soliding your way around there. The VTOL, the virtual vertical takeoff and landing vehicle that is hovering outside that window. You can see that there are some tactical lines that are running from the bottom of it through the window. It is unbranded, but you recognize the design as an OMO VTOL, and it is as Avery is making their way down the hallway. trying to see which lab that that TK is in. There is. It would, you know, it would be silent, with the exception of the crumbling drywall, as these rapidly magnetically propelled darts, essentially slivers of metal, are super speeded through there. On a 5, Avery, one of them is going to catch you in the shoulder and arm. You know you are. It is just a series of them, and you can you can all tell from 2 of you that are down there from the spray pattern. It is not. You are not the target. They were just shooting in a spray, and it burst through the wall. I need you. You will take a minor wound, but you can resist. To make a resistance check. To make a resistance check, you again pick an approach, and the way that you are going to try to resist it, I'm going to say you have to choose endurance, because you did not know. You can't dodge out of the way of something you didn't know was there. But you can pick any approach that you want. Okay?
Well, I guess I will pick smartness.
Okay. Yeah, you were being very... Smartness is all about... I don't know if smartness applies here.
Okay.
Aggression or caution, I think. Or you know what? I said I'd give it to you. I give it to you. Roll smartness, endurance.
Okay. So I don't have anything for endurance, so it's just 2 for smartness then.
Please.
And then quick clarification. The spray that came through was like kind of like a grappling hook, or just like literal bullets?
Future bullets.
Future bullets.
Yeah.
Got it.
Fancy.
So they're just like letting us up right now. What?
You actually don't think that they were at you.
And did this come from outside, or did it come from inside the lab?
From one of the labs. And it was, you were walking down the hallway, sort of in between these labs. You're about to get to one of the lab doors, and you kind of hear something inside the lab, and then just like bullet holes.
Okay.
Spring through the wall, and that's why it was a pure luck roll, because they weren't aiming at you. They just, one of them happened to catch you.
Me. Yeah. Okay.
So.
Double 3s.
Double 3s. Okay. So that is going to be learning how to do the rolls, making all the things up as we go. Double 3s. Okay. You can take, so you have a choice. You can take the level 1 wound, which is you're gonna lose edge in this scenario, or you mark 3 stress.
Okay, now I want to interject before you make that decision. Can I? So in terms of my gear and whatnot,
what does losing?
Can I influence her decision
scenario?
based on the gear that I've got? Or it's after what she makes, after the results, then I can.
So well, tell me what you wanted to do, and then we'll figure out how to do it.
Okay, because what I wanted to do is essentially have her take her harm, and then I don't know if the med kit would take away that harm.
You'd have to take the time to potentially do it. And so you can say that she knows you have a med kit on you if you want to give her that information before she makes this decision. That's fine.
Okay, I see.
You see, so what Edge does is, if you have Edge, you can increase your effectiveness while decreasing their threat.
Okay.
Or and vice versa. So if the bad guys have edge, they can be more threatening and make you less effective or
Okay.
less effective, right?
I did not have any in this scenario already, correct?
In this scenario, you did not have any edge. So you will
Okay.
be giving edge to
Okay.
your opponents.
I think that I will just take the harm right now.
So you're gonna. So taking the harm is gonna give them edge.
Oh, okay.
Even if I have a med kit.
Well, if you take the time to heal her
Okay.
or fix
Yeah,
it,
right.
and it's not necessarily about but you can do that, or you take the 3 stress. So it's 3 stress
Okay.
or a level 1 harm.
Okay.
Okay.
I will do the stress, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Three stress for you. Tex, you are seeing that. You don't hear the bullet shots. This is a Black Ops infiltration team. I'm gonna say, honestly, probably Coyle wouldn't have heard them, except he watched just the
spray
blitz
come
of
through the
red
wall.
and the spray of the spray of drywall just come bursting through, and you're not even 100% sure that that Avery is took the scratch. I will say that
Okay.
what is most obvious is part of your infiltration outfit is kind of shredded, and there's a little bit of a very small cut. It's less about the damage to you, and just oh, that was fucking close.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing?
Can I from the top see? So I can see where the cables are going. And
Yes.
I can see that there are the tactical entrance cables.
Yep.
Is anyone else on the roof, near the roof? Can I see if anyone is driving it?
The VTOL is it's armored.
Self-piloted?
It's it's armored. It's kind of like the the Fifth Element cars, but
Yeah.
bigger, little
Yeah.
boxier,
Yeah.
and like a Nolan Batmobile version of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you can see where the pilots should be. You cannot see the pilots because it's blackened.
I would like to try to army crawl.
Okay.
Through the shadows along the edge of the building as close to the ridge of the roof as possible.
Great.
And I'd like to try to cut through those cables a little.
So
not all the way, but so that the moment someone puts weight on them, they snap.
great. So this is the car.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the window. You're
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
So the string goes this way.
Okay. String goes that way.
Yeah. So I mean, you can reach down. You're going to be reaching into the light.
Fuck. The whole light is there. God damn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's where the light's shining is where
Okay.
they
Yeah,
went in.
Where they went in. Then, fuck me. Okay. How versatile can a drone be? A small one?
It can be as versatile as you want it to be.
Then I'm gonna get one.
Okay.
In my gear, I would like a small drone
Okay.
that can go up under the vehicle, out of the light, because the light's shining out of the car up there, where it hooks on,
Okay.
and not completely snap it, because that'll draw attention, but I want it to do enough that the minute someone grabs that thing and tries to do something, it just snaps, and it disconnects
Okay.
from the vehicle.
Cool. Yeah. Make me a rigging check.
Yay! That one I have. I'm gonna do it with caution because I am trying to send it to a place where I know the ship isn't going to be where it's not gonna be noticed.
Got it.
I do have a sniper rifle that I can use to shoot the rope clear with style, but they're like tactical cables, so I don't think a typical bullet's gonna do it in this world. They're not ropes, I'm guessing. But also, I'm trying not to draw attention to myself yet. Ugh, all fours.
Okay. All fours.
Fuck me.
The robot, your drone, you do start to pilot your drone. It makes its way over there. It gets underneath there, and it's like a... What does your drone look like?
it looks like a tiny crab. So I was gonna latch into the and just start chomping away.
Sure.
And sawing through a little bit if it can. And
Yeah.
again, I've ordered it to go until there's like one strand left and then stop, but not snap it all the way.
Great, and it is doing that. So it's kind of inverted and put its
Yes.
crab legs onto the bottom of the thing. I'm gonna start it a clock for cutting through, and the vehicle a clock for
Noticing
counter
it?
intrusion measures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I wasn't attacking the vehicle itself.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna take the rope and I'm not gonna snap it because I don't want to draw attention to myself. I did it smart.
You did it smart. Sometimes it was a great plan. It hasn't noticed you yet. But it has the potential to notice you now because that's
what the roll does.
That's what the roll does. Yeah.
I very much have to use the restroom. I apologize. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, we've got stuff to do down here. Hello,
That's
Catface.
what I was hoping. Go. Yes.
What are you guys
All
up
right.
to?
So I think that something just came busting through the wall here. I feel like we should either, at the very least, we should take a look. We should see if we can peek around the door and see if we can spot what's happening.
Yeah,
inside. See if-
absolutely. Yeah, make me a observation check.
Okay.
If
I will
you're a
do
lot
this.
better at being quiet, Avery. I will. You just tell me what you see, and if we
I will
need to
do
go
this
in.
with smartness.
Okay.
Haley. I don't want to roll on your face. I got a 4.
You got a 4. Okay. So you are going to see it, but they're going to see you.
Okay.
In the process, you make it over to the door. You look around. Inside is, you can see there's a 4-man team that has probably just come through this door within the last 2 minutes, and is let's put that on, and it is in the middle of a gunfight. A very quiet gunfight, but a gunfight nonetheless, with a plain-dressed, in a very sharp suit, what you can assume is Miss Kincaid's bodyguard, and the Omo team is in heavy tactical gear. With fully automatic rifles, superheated sort of rail bullets that are tearing through a lot of the lab. You can see that someone is hiding behind one of the recent gene therapy tanks. You can see some of the doctors or engineers are, like, 2 of them are kind of cowering and hiding, and then 2 more are on the ground bleeding out, and yeah, looks like this bodyguard is outgunned for sure. Has a little bit of cover, and as you peek around the corner, one of the Omo guards wheels around with the rifle, just a foot or 2 from you.
Oh shit.
What are you doing?
Gosh, I feel like we should get in there.
I'm gonna set you guys tactical team. Tac team is gonna be a 6-tick challenge. They're pretty tough. So, yeah. What are you doing?
Okay. Do we want to wait until Pixie gets back before we?
No,
Do you
go ahead.
engage
I can bounce
Okay.
back to her. Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's outside anyway.
She's got her own things going on.
Okay. I will just yell back to, or not yell, but just turn back to Coil and go, come on, And then I
will go with her and just plow through and just run to the nearest guy at me with just my robotic arm and just.
Awesome. Make me a close combat check, Coil.
All right, and it's aggressive. I've got my go. I'm gonna head it up here.
So so you know, for this check, I'm gonna give you 2 effective. So 2 on the effect. I'm gonna put the threat at 3. But because he spotted Avery first, she's the one that's gonna potentially take the hit, or part of the hit, depending on your result.
Okay, perfect. So I've got 2 effective means I get 2 additional dice to roll.
No. It's if it goes great for you, you will have done 2 ticks of damage for them.
Okay, I see. Got it. Perfect. Big money. 5.
Okay, so it is going to. With 5, yes, it is a partial success. Do it, but you also suffer the consequence. So, it is going to either you come barreling in, you shove this guy, his gun goes off. It is either going to put a big hurt on Avery unless they can resist. Or it's going to give the tactical team the edge, or they're all going to focus on you. What do you think happens?
What do I think happens?
Yeah, tell me.
Let's see here. So it's either Avery, everybody focused on me,
or they get edge.
Yeah. We can split that up.
Wait, go. What was that?
We can split that up a little bit. So let's call it this way. Avery's in danger of taking another small wound, so another 1. You are, and they're going to gain edge right now. So that's what we're going to roll for. Okay. Avery, you can resist if you want to make a resistance check.
Okay. Let's see. Remind me what that.
So you choose your. How are you resisting? So you're going to choose your approach. I'm going to say for this one, you can either endure it or try to dodge out of the way of it. I'll take mobility. Okay. I'll take either of those.
I would do.
Or close combat.
Okay. I will take smartness because I can tell, or I mean, I feel like I would know that.
Absolutely, yeah.
If he's getting attacked, his gun might go off accidentally.
Yeah.
And then I will for sure do close combat.
Okay, let's do it.
Bailey, you don't get to roll.
And as
That's
you're
for me.
rolling that, I kind of want to I don't know how to envelop my angle, which is look after them. Is there any way that I can?
At this particular moment, no. But we will find a chance to do it later. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I am rolling. I got a 6.
Perfect. So with a 6 on resistance, success. It goes at nope. That's not that. Where'd it go? Where'd the resistance? Tell me about the resistance. There it is. So you're gonna take 1 stress.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you call for Coil. He comes barreling in, hits him with the mechanical arm. That tactical guy goes flying off to the side. I'm gonna set up. So that's 2 on the tactical track of 6 there. The spray sort of goes over as the Omo tactical agent. There we go. As the agent hits the ground, off of his back springs this self-preservation drone. So that's going to be a 1-tick challenge that is going to kick in for you guys. What else are you doing? What would you like to do now, Avery? As Coil jumped in there.
Okay, how many tactical agents are there?
3 agents and 1 self-preservation drone.
Okay, so 1 agent is down. We have the drone and 3 more agents.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I would like to claim another gear.
Okay.
I would like to say I have a blade or 2.
Okay.
One is I'd say like a long dagger. I'd say I have like 2 like kind of knife dagger things. One is longer and one is more like standard, standard size.
Sure.
And I would like to. Okay, are you gonna get down? Because you're showing your butt to the camera, and it's unfortunate. Okay. Yes. So I would like to pull those from their little like thigh holsters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would like to, if I can, charge one of the agents, and at the same time, fling the short one at the drone.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. I am going to say this is a high risk, high reward moment. So we're going to put it at 3 effect and 3 threat. Because for you to take that sort of running, sort of flying moment, you're going to be out in the open and may catch a hard shot here.
Okay.
So,
I also would like to say, upon taking that last stress, I did move into the overloaded zone.
Okay. So, so since you are overloaded, we're just going to do this right away. We're going to make something glitchy for you. We're not going to take you out of action.
So as an approach of my choosing becomes
Yes.
permanently glitchy.
Yep. So go ahead and click one of those as glitchy.
I would like to choose empathy for that one.
Yeah. So you become cold. Your
Okay.
empathy. You sick of people shooting me. Not
Yep.
dealing with these people anymore.
All right. So then I guess for this check, it will be aggression and close combat.
Sounds good. Yeah, and you can click off. We'll take 3 stress off of it.
Okay. Sorry, 3 stress. What do you mean, take 3 stress off of it?
So
Like,
you're no
remove
longer
3?
overloaded,
Oh,
and
okay.
you get. This is the way I'm doing it. I don't know if it's the right way, but that's what I'm doing. So since something became glitchy, you take off overload, you take off 1, and then you take off 1. So 4 of those boxes
Okay.
should be ticked.
Okay, so I already had 4. So I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused.
Because we made you glitchy,
Yes.
I am removing. You should only have 4 total stress right now.
Okay, that is what I have.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't take anything away or add anything for that one.
That's fine. It would.
Okay.
Essentially, we put it on there. It made you overload, and then we reduced it back.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm still overloaded because I have 4 checked.
You overload at 7.
Oh, you overload at 7. Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought that the gray box was overloaded. Okay, that's my bad. I am not overloaded then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. It may be different on the like fillable
Okay,
sheet.
no, sorry, I'm just not reading it correctly. I thought that the overloaded was when you got into the gray zone on those tech boxes.
Yeah. So
No, I
looking
think
at
it's the
yellow
looking at the
one,
regular
yeah.
sheet, it's 1, 2, 3.
Just the
4,
yellow one. Okay,
5,
no,
6.
I see now.
Just the yellow one. Overload is at 7. Cool.
Okay, I got you. Cool. So disregard everything I just said.
Okay. Disregarded.
Okay. So yes, I'll be rolling aggression in close combat.
Okay. Let's do it.
I got 6.
You got a 6. Great. So yeah, the blade goes flying out. That is going to tick off the drone. You come falling into another of the guards. His gun goes spraying. It's lighting up into the roof. At this point, you topple him over, your dagger slipping in between the composite plating of the tactical armor. Coil, what are you up to?
So the guy on the ground, do I know that he's like KO'd, or he's not KO'd?
He is not a threat at this moment.
We are considering
Okay.
him out of the fight.
And so you attacked the other guy.
I took one more out. There's just 2 more guys.
Right? There's 2 more guys?
2.
Yep.
Yep.
And what is their orientation? How are they oriented?
How do you want them to be oriented?
I would like them oriented in a way where once I punch one of them, it pushes them into the other. And I actually want to, just kind of sprint as fast as I can, go in, and then just clock the guy in the mid, just right in the sternum. And I actually would like to push my cyberware and activate the rocket in it. And that's am I using that correctly?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. And essentially propel him into the other individual.
Okay.
With my rocket arm.
Yeah, on board. Let's do it. So
Okay.
to push, you're going to mark 2 stress.
Yes. Perfect. And that's aggression in close combat.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you 3 effect on this and 2 threat.
Excellent. And then I'll just when I select push, I guess I choose whether I roll an extra dice or add an edge.
Correct.
Do I have to understand that?
Yes.
I think I would. Okay, so can you explain to me what it just essentially gives us an edge in this battle, or like how do I establish an edge?
Yes. So yeah. For as long as this fight is going on, or as long as it basically gives you advantage. So it is a way for you to either make the threat less dangerous, or to make your result more effective.
Okay. Well, let's do the edge, and I want to catch the guy in his weapon.
Okay.
And I want my rocket arm to essentially shatter his weapon.
Okay.
So he no longer has a ranged weapon.
Okay. That's a great idea. I love it. Let's roll.
Okay. Whoops. High roller, big money. No whammies. 5.
5.
Oh.
No, that's
5.
Yeah. No. That is still great. So, I gave you 3 effect and 2 on the threat. You had called for the edge to basically give you a benefit of it. So I'm going to say the benefit: the gun does not explode. But as you come rushing into the guy, you guys had put 2, 4 on the tactical. Okay, so here's what happens. You come bursting into him. Your mechanical arm wraps around the rifle and comes shoving into him. You feel his rib cage sort of concave and goes flying into the other guy. And as you go to crush the rifle, the electromagnetic pieces inside light up and send electricity shocks up into your arm. So it's going to be a level 2 harm for you, and that you can resist. And we're going to call your cybernetic arm glitchy for the rest of the night. So make your resistance check.
Yeah, I do want to resist that. Okay, and that's just 1 die that I roll?
So you pick
an approach and then a thing. So I'm going to pick aggression. I'm just going to try to just
gut it out. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, just gut it out. Just kind of go "Ugh!" and endure it.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. 6.
Okay, sounds good. So you're going to mark 1 stress. You gut it out. Your mechanical arm is glitchy. Now, part of its electrics are fried. So whenever you roll something using that arm, you're going to roll a distinct d6 on a
Yes,
1 or a
my
3.
glitch
It's going to give
die.
you some complications. And you mark 1 stress.
Excellent.
Okay. As the one guard goes flying into the other, the last rounds of bullets come flying in. We're gonna pause there with you guys. We're gonna click back over to the top. Let me get a rigging roll from you, Tex.
Yeah. Am I still cautious? They haven't seen me yet.
They have not seen you yet. Go
Great,
ahead and
amazing.
make it a cautious roll.
I will continue to caution. Highest was a 5.
Highest was a 5. Okay.
They're gonna find me.
So it is gonna be. I set your clock at 4 and 4, I think.
Sure.
So you're about halfway through those tactical ropes, and they are creeping up on you.
Fuck.
So, one more time. Let's see how it goes.
I swear if this goes badly, I'm just gonna 6.
Okay.
The other 2 worked ones, but one of them was a 6.
That's all that matters. All right, we're gonna say that you have sabotaged the tactical ropes. The drone is getting off just in time. Before the countermeasures sort of kick in, and you are there. What else are you up to?
Have they started to do anything with like my people haven't called for aid necessarily. They seem to be handling themselves just fine. No one is trying to leave the ship to go help inside.
Not just as you finish the ropes, the vessel starts to spin about.
Ah!
So the tactical ropes are still hooked. They're still in line. It's not like looks like they're going to check the other window, essentially.
Okay. So if it backs away and they pull taut, they will snap, or if someone tries to climb on them. But as of right now, they're fine, and everything seems kosher.
Yeah.
Great. They are welcome to go check the other window. I am going to tuck myself into the shadows, pull out sniper rifle, and be prepared to shoot anyone who tries to come out or to shoot in.
Which way are you looking?
I'm following the ship.
You're following the ship. Great.
Yes.
Sounds good. That's what I wanted to make. That's what I wanted to understand.
For now, I'm following the ship.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Back inside. Coil. Avery, what are you guys up to?
So we have taken out all of the agents.
Yes.
Okay.
As you're going to check on the last agent that Coil had sort of thrown, the guy that got thrown into, you see his final bullets have the rounds had pierced the armor of the bodyguard of Miss Kincaid's bodyguard, and he's sort of slumped over one of the gene therapy tanks, drooping from his fingers are 2 like knuckle attachments attached to a monofilament laser wire that is just sort of dripped onto the floor, and he's slumped over it, the blood smearing across the tank.
I will hurry over and kind of like turn him over, prop him up, and see if it's like if he's too far gone to help him.
And while she's doing that, I'll go and just kind of equip myself with a blade or 2.
Okay.
and pull out my butterfly knife, and I'll just go over and just finish off all the soldiers.
Yeah, not a problem. Make me a sciences smartness check, Avery.
Okay, I can do that. 2 5s.
2 5s. Okay. Yes. Yeah, he is. You notice something from the. There's something in something about his skin, something about the way he bleeds, that he is probably a synthetic prototype. You haven't seen anything like it, but he is not functioning.
Okay. So he is not human. So he is not human. He's not really.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
the first. This is the first you're seeing of it.
Okay.
Robotics is nowhere near this, but you immediately are sort of like that. That's not normal.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that I can save him.
No. He's already expired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I will just kind of lay him back down. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything.
Yeah.
And I will turn over to where I saw our Miss Kincaid.
Okay. Yeah. As you look behind the tank, that the bodyguard is slumped over, and as you put him down, you can tell that like the top layer of his skin is probably it's real. And there's blood underneath it, but when you get to like the internals, he may not be. He may actually be human. He just might have been modded that
Okay.
far. As you look around the tank, there is in very simple sort of hospital scrubs almost like clearly these are not her normal clothes. A gorgeous young woman, late 20s perhaps, sharp, distinct features, and a purple hair that is iridescent and
I love this.
but clearly
This is
not
awesome.
clearly not dyed. Yeah, like this is. You can sort of recognize it as a hint of like bioluminescent fish splicing into the hair DNA.
Very cool.
Deep purple that is swept and pulled back. She has immaculate skin, mixed heritage, Asian Caucasian features.
But how do I get hair like that in real life is my question.
I wish I knew.
Please go get me a glowfish. Please learn some DNA splicing. I am prepared to take on that experimental risk. Please make me glow.
Her skin is slightly tanned, so like Filipino Taiwanese, sort of Southeast Asian, Pacific Rim Asian, but mixed genetics there. And she sees you, and as she looks at you, she sort of scrambles around to the other side of the pod and sees the result of the bodyguard there for a moment, and she's just looking between you and Coil, who's just walking around slitting throats.
As terrifying as this looks, we're not here to hurt you, I promise.
No, we're here to help. We're friends.
Uh-huh. And how are you planning on helping?
We're here to escort you out of here, back to where you need to go.
Where's that?
Out of character moment. We're on a mission from Gray, Mr. Gray.
Richard Gray.
Richard
Yeah,
Gray.
Mr. Gray. That's fine.
We're here for Mr. Gray.
And he told us
He wants to
that if
leave,
she
and we
wants
can
to
get her
leave,
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Then that's her best chance of getting out, and right now.
Okay. We're here on behalf of Mr. Gray. If you want out, now is your chance. And possibly your only chance.
And I'll walk up behind Avery to kind of and I'll try to kind of present myself not aggressively, but like in a protective kind of like it's safe to come with us type of approach, even though I just, you know.
Hello,
Sure.
I am safe. Big safe energy. Love it.
Why don't you both make me empathy influence checks?
Great. I have nothing in either of those categories.
So you get to roll a die.
Okay.
I think this is one of those things I have to go to. I have to go to Blades in the Dark. If you have 0, roll a die for each.
Okay.
Okay. So just one. So 2.
Yeah, but you can't.
And
it is impossible to crit.
Okay.
And then I've only got 1 in empathy and then 0 in influence.
Roll an extra 1 for influence. You can it's also impossible for you to crit.
I got both 5s.
Okay.
It makes sense. I got both ones.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. She's as you explain who Gray, like that you're here from him, and that you will get her out if she wants. No, it's not. It can't possibly have come to that. And you watch her. She's less worried about you guys in specific, but she's a little bit in doubt as to the exact nature of the danger that she is in, right? And there is you let her pace for just a moment, because it looks like she's going to go with you. You don't want to force her. There's no immediate threat. And just as
I'll sheath the one dagger that I still have and take a step back and kind of go and collect my other one from the drone.
Perfect.
Just
Yeah.
to give her some space.
Yeah, you're giving her a moment. And you're kind of hearing her complain, mull her stuff over, and it's maybe 20 seconds. It's not even as long as I've been telling you. And suddenly the floor explodes.
Oh.
I would like both of you to roll survival. And I will take caution survival is kind of the only thing you can roll at this moment.
Okay. If I have none in survival and 1 in caution, then I roll 2?
Correct.
Okay.
And then I've got none in either.
So roll 2.
4.
Okay.
3.
Okay. The floor explodes. It rocks the building. Tex, you shake, and suddenly things are not going well anymore. The floor gives out, and both of you fall to the level below. You are both in danger of suffering a 3 harm that you both have the chance to resist right now. I'm gonna say you're gonna have to just purely gut it out. So aggression, endurance to resist.
Okay, here we go.
I got a 6.
Nice.
I got 2 6s.
Nice. Okay. So, from the previous run, you guys are the bad guys have the edge because you fell, you landed prone, right? But as far as the harm to you guys, you both stuck it out. Coil, you clear 2 of your stress. Avery, you're going to add 1 stress. And as you guys are in the rubble, you can see that this, it's about the size of the doorman was, over 7 feet, but it is pure black carbon nanofiber and plating, and the only bit that is human is like this portion of it, and it's only up to the front, right? And you can sort of see there's a little bit of skin on the neck. On his arms, there's like an odd patch of skin, oddly grafted over some of what is just a walking tank of a person. And you can see the smoking portion of his shoulder from which the rocket was fired, and he blew up the floor in a way that you guys would fall, and Kincaid was gonna fall, but she like caught the rim of the ground, and he just reaches up and like King Kong grabs her. From on the outside, as that happens, Tex, alarms everywhere start going off. It is a rave outside, and that VTOL that had spun around rapidly drops and spins to look at like where at the bottom floor, and just begins almost indiscriminately spraying like 50 caliber rounds through the walls.
Amazing.
This is the scenario you guys find yourselves in at the moment. What would you guys like to do? I'll start with we'll go from Tex down in reading order. The lines have snapped, but you still have your drone.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
I am going to make some choices. Going to the drone back to me. I would like it to land on my shoulder, please.
Sure.
And I am going to, this is why I grappling gunned, and I would like to do this in the most video game way possible.
Great.
I would like to, and trying to avoid lay bullets, I am going to Tom Cruise sprint across the roof.
Sure.
The roof opposite end from where the plane is.
Okay.
Leap off, turn and grappling gun hook.
Okay.
And I'd like to swing in through the window. I'd just like to.
So you want to go away from the VTOL, swing down to the first floor.
There is, you said, a window on the hallway, second floor.
Yes, you can go to the
I'd like
second
to go
floor.
there. I don't know that the floor is collapsed. I'm going in there.
Great. Okay.
I'm going in the level that the girl was supposed to be in because I have no idea.
On board. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make me some sort of mobility check.
I will make all the mobility checks. I'm no longer cautious. I am aggressive.
Yep.
I'm just letting you know I'm losing a die, but I cannot justify caution right now.
I
just said I
appreciate
was
that.
yeeting myself off the roof.
Yeah.
There's no more fucking. Actually, can I justify ranged combat because I'm aiming for the thing with my gun? No? Okay,
Sure.
that's fine.
I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Okay. The hesitation was just because I am shooting with my grappling gun as a aim thing. 5.
Okay. Yeah, you make it down there. I'm gonna say there you run the risk of spraining your ankle, so
Sure.
you can try to resist that if you want.
Nope. Sprain me. That's fine because resist is going to be a like edge thing or a whatever.
It's gonna add stress.
Nope. I will take the wound instead of the stress because I am probably going to just perch and shoot. I don't really have to run at this point, I feel like.
So, yeah, put down a level 1 harm, and it's gonna
I'll take it.
give a negative edge to your team, to you.
Sorry, apologies.
That's okay. Avery, or excuse me, Coil, what are you up to?
Okay, I want to, as I'm like laying on my back, I want to add to my equipment here special grenades.
Okay.
an EMP grenade.
Okay.
And I want to go ahead and just push the button, pull it out, push it, and just roll it on over to the mechanical dude.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's make a ranged combat, and you can make your pick your approach.
Yeah, I'll do it aggressively. Just woo.
Okay.
And then I don't got any roll. I don't got anything in range.
Okay.
Here we go. 6.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to, for that, I'll give you a good effect on a grenade. Absolutely. They do have edge. So because you were prone, as you go rolling over to lob the grenade, he does see it, and he's gonna sort of pull a large piece of concrete in between him and it. So it's gonna have it's gonna deal a reduced effect because of him having the edge. Avery, what are you up to?
Let's see. You said the only human part is this part, but I'm assuming it's like shielded.
There's very little human part to him, and let me rephrase. There's some skin on him. You don't think it's human anymore.
Okay. What can I do? Oh boy. I would like to, at the very least, try and like climb to my feet. And this is like I guess actually are the people out front still spraying?
They are.
Bullets into
Yes.
them?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Are the bullets having any effect on the big guy if they're hitting him?
Some. Not as much as you would hope, but they are what is keeping him distracted enough that he has not merely exploded both of you.
Okay.
Right? His focus is currently split between getting shot at by this VTOL, the grenade, and he's trying to it looks like he's currently protecting Kincaid, but he might just, he's here to kill her. From his, I'll save you a flashback from, he's a sadist, so he is only keeping her alive so he can try to kill her in the most terrible way possible.
Okay.
But if it gets too bad,
this is the different party. This is not the same party.
This is the
people up
cyber
front.
psycho. This is Tombstone.
Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
I apologize. If I didn't make that clear. This is Tombstone.
I had honestly forgotten about all the multiple parties. I was so focused on the the OMOs.
You guys are doing great.
Holy shit! All right. I think I need to claim my last gear spot. And I would like an exotic weapon.
Okay.
I'm
excited. How
An
exotic we
attack
get.
panther.
Okay. Sorry. Really? Gosh, what would be helpful against this guy? I would like to have. I would like just. It appears to be a fairly simple, just like a gun or a rifle.
Okay.
But I guess do I have to have that would be special ammo too? Probably would that if it was going to be like something super armor piercing.
We'll just call that special ammo. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, you need a gun and the ammo.
Yes. Okay. I don't have enough spots for that.
Okay. If you want to make it a special, like you've established you have melee weapons, you can have some form of specialty electric blade or a rail charged I don't know. We can make something up that will help in the armor piercing process. I am good with that.
I will say, because like I mean, I didn't use this. I will say it'll be like an upgrade to one of my blades that I didn't use in the last fight, because it's like a single use. It doesn't last super long.
Okay.
But I will say, like, the longer one is like
you can put a monomolecular edge on it, which would should let you cut through anything. Yeah, on board. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. I will fire that up.
Okay.
And I will just try and, if he is distracted enough that he's maybe can't like react fast enough to like get me, and also keep Tatiana?
Yes.
Tatiana safe, and like avoid these bullets. I will just try and jump, and I will try and just send this thing right into his head.
Okay. If you're gonna throw it,
not throw it. I want to get up and like stab it.
Got it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool. So this will be aggression and close combat.
Okay.
I got double sixes. I got 2 6s.
Ooh. Okay. So I, looking at his armor and everything, reading some rules, I was going to put everything with him a 1 because of the gear. I was going to bump you effect to a 2. You can get, with the critical, an additional effect. So you're going to get 3 on the effect. 3 and plus the grenade earlier. So he's 5 out of 8 effect. And you do not suffer any negatives that come with it. There was a... Sorry, Coil, you rolled a 5 on your check, your grenade check, right? Okay, great.
Yes.
So, awesome. So, Avery, you come running, jumping, flying into him, up in his headspace. He's twisting from the bullets. The EMP has washed over him, only affecting him. Your face glitches out a little bit. All of your cybernetics sort of just a little bit as you're on the edges of the EMP are like, hey, stop that. That shit sucks. Yeah. And you recognize in his face as the strafe of bullets come across, he's about to just chuck this Kincaid woman and potentially just kill her. So you guys have this guy on the ropes. He's in danger. He's getting desperate. Tex, what do you got?
So I've landed and seen that they are not in the hallway.
They are not in the hallway. Yeah, most of that hallway, like that floor, it's collapsed enough for you to look down. There is a hole.
Good, amazing. Can I see them since they fell down and are ostensibly fighting beneath me?
You can definitely see Avery. I'm gonna say Coil.
I'm like monkey clinging to this guy, and I have a blade through his head.
Yeah, Coil's probably, I think, still in a little bit of rubble.
If I flatten myself against the floor, can I get a shot on obviously big bad guy we're trying to kill? I don't need context.
Sure.
Clearly, Avery's trying to kill this motherfucker.
You know it's Tombstone. You guys did enough research to recognize him.
Yeah. Oh shit, he here! Like kind of thing. Okay, let's fucking go. Yeah, I would like to do this, please. So I would like to lay down, and I would like to. Oh, does this count as gear? Because it's just a gun.
If it's a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
You need to have picked a large
heavy weapon. Got it.
Yeah,
done.
large heavy weapon.
That's fine. Perfect. Amazing. Done.
Okay.
Okay. So I would like to flatten myself against the floor.
Okay.
And I would like to shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Not cautious. No. Oh yes. I'm gonna justify caution because I'm trying not to hit my teammate.
Sure.
So I'm breathing carefully, and I'm slow, and I'm steady, and I'm careful with the shots.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, right, Sleek?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 of those, and that is going to be my ranged combat.
Okay.
Because I am not stabbing him. Because I'm clearly at range. Two 6s. 2 6s and 2 4s.
Shut up.
I will take picture.
Okay. So with that, we're gonna call that a 3 for the
Doing it again.
critical. Normal effect against him is 1 or 0. Specialty with a big heavy weapon, we're gonna call that a +1. And the critical gives you an extra effect on there. That is 3. That gets you guys up to 8.
Yes.
Which is what I had put his clock at. So he, the bullet comes ricocheting into his head, pings off of it, and you watch as he sort of resets. He crumbles down onto the ground. Kincaid falls onto the rubble. The VTOL outside is continuing to shoot. You guys are at the point now where you need to make your getaway, because you don't think fighting. Well, you can try to fight it if you want. It's up to you guys. But you have the
I don't
girl.
think we should try and fight a VTOL.
Yeah, totally up to you guys. What, Coil? What are you up to?
Is Miss Kincaid right now in the custody of Avery?
She's right next to. So you can pick her up if you want. You can help her move, but she can also kind of move on her own. Like
Not
she's
fast, I feel like.
She's barefoot in this broken, exploding building.
She
Right.
just finished cooking. Let's get her. Let's.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
How close is the big the big aircraft thing to the ground?
8 feet off the ground. Like it's low enough to be shooting bullets
Into the first floor.
across the bow. Yeah,
Okay.
on ground level.
And is there like an opening, like is the front door still there? Is there any sort of obstruction from where we are to the outside?
There's a door for you to run through to go out the front door. It's shooting out the side of the building. If you want cover from the VTOL as you go to the front, there's like the receptionist desk that it would be shooting through. These bullets are big enough; they're pretty much tearing through the building.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna run and grab Miss Kincaid and kind of use my body as a shield as we're making our way away from, because
away from the VTOL. I'm on board with
yeah,
that.
away from the VTOL, and just kind of using my body
Cool.
as a shield. And if I can, I'll grab her, and I'll also usher Avery along with us.
Okay.
And use my body as a shield to try to shield off both of them.
Okay.
Everyone needs a good human shield. Let's just be honest.
And then if there's any role in there, I don't know if I could integrate looking after them.
That sounds really good. Yeah, I'll take the angle on it. Normally that's a downtime thing. We didn't get to have that today, but I'm good. Let's do it. Give you an extra die for the angle on board. Let's make it an endurance check.
Okay.
I'll take aggression. That you're acting boldly. I'm on board.
Excellent. So it's aggression and endurance plus my angle. Got it. That is a 6.
Nice.
Single 6 solo.
Okay, yeah, it is effective. You help them. You come burrowing through the door, through the wall, sort of rushing them out the front of the building. The carrier seems to have some sort of digital bead. Looks like it's starting to wheel around to the side. Avery, what are you up to?
While we're moving, I would assume that I honestly might have seen Tex up on the upper floor on the edge of the hole up there.
You didn't assume he just exploded suddenly. You were like you knew that bullet came from
We
somewhere.
also
You
have
didn't
our
think you
little
killed him with your mind,
comms.
right? Like
Yes,
Yes.
you do. Yeah.
So I assume that I know she's up there.
Sure.
hello.
And as we're moving, I'll just say, Tex, we're making a break for it.
Yeah,
Any
no
cover you can
shit,
give us is-
sweetheart. Yeah.
Any
she's
cover you
gonna.
can give us.
Yeah. She's gonna. You need cover.
If you can give it to us.
Yeah. Oh,
Anything you can help with.
fucking course I can. She's going to just, you know what? She is still attached to the grappling hook. I will Mission Impossible hang down this hole and just shoot people like a crazy person.
I mean, you're gonna be shooting the carrier.
Okay, we're up in that. I'm shooting that. Yeah, done. I go back up. Great, amazing. All right. I'd like to either find a window and shoot at it through there, if that makes more sense. If I'm fine with that. Can I do that?
Yeah, you through whatever effort, you are welcome to shoot at it. It is not going to be super effective, but
That's fair.
but that is okay.
If I can aim for, I know it's an armored whatever. If I can sort of aim in the general direction of,
At least like some sort of front windscreen.
yes,
type,
like where a pilot would be,
Sure.
please.
Okay. So Avery, as you guys are running, why don't you give me some attempt to escape, and we will, Avery, Tex, why don't you give me some ranged attack? I'm going to say you are assisting her in this action because you're just distracting the pilot or the gunner, whoever's doing the aiming. Actually damaging this thing is not ultimately the goal, I feel like.
No, just distracting, and even if I accidentally happen to bump an antenna out of whack
Sure,
that messes
yeah.
with his vision field, I'll do that.
Okay.
The external buttons that don't really do much, but when you're inside the ship, they're annoying.
On
if
board.
you hit them.
Go ahead and make that check. And how are you escaping, Avery?
Okay. So you said if we run kind of away from them, we'll hit the front of the building.
Yeah, you guys are outside the building now, and it's
Oh, we're
starting
outside
to
the
come.
building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coil helped you guys get out of
Oh,
the
okay.
building, and Tex is trying to give you a distraction to get you basically through this open area, kind of where you guys got stopped by the guards in the first place, and help you guys get to the extraction vehicle.
6.
All right.
Thank you for the emotional backing. I love you, crazy chick. Apparently, I have
Okay.
fans. I have
Awesome.
cheerleaders in chat.
Okay.
I
Remind me
will
what a push
do-
does.
Hold
what
on,
like
Coil.
what effects a push would have
Sorry.
on me.
Gives you an extra die,
Okay.
or an edge to give you more effect, which
Uh-huh.
I am totally good with. If you want to push for the extra effect and take the die from being helped, on this one success, I'll let you guys get to the vehicle, as opposed to another one that I was initially anticipating.
Okay. So hold on. So I'm gonna roll smartness for trying to figure out the best way to evade
Okay.
out here, and mobility. So that's 3.
Okay.
Just from that.
Yep.
And if I try and push my enhancements, my cyberware, well, I guess I have an idea for what I would like to try with that, and you can tell me if it's feasible or not.
Tell me what do you want your cyberware to do?
I would like to, because they are essentially like, it's a chameleon implants is what I'm calling them, and it lets me change my appearance.
Yeah.
I would like to see if I can like push those, because I know that they probably have like some sort of a digital electronic like aiming system.
Yeah.
Going. I would like to see if I can just fuzz that out
Okay.
for like if I push my implants somehow, like if I can just like
I like it. I'm on
somehow
board.
hack into their system, my implants somehow, and like fuzz out their aiming
Yeah,
system.
we've already established some lore about how those can mess with digital targeting. I'm on board. Yeah, take
Okay.
the push. So I'll say that'll increase. I'm on board with that, increasing the effectiveness. You get a bonus dice from Tex, so you're going to be rolling 4.
Okay. So I have the bonus. So I have the okay. So yeah, bonus from text. So that's 4. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, and you're taking 2 stress on the push.
Okay. All right. I did get a 6.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you come running out. Tex's bullets distract the individual pilots, the actual operators. Your cyberware starts to disrupt the digital targeting, the computerized programming that is handling a lot of the shooting. You guys with Coil make it to your escape vehicle. You left Tex behind at this point. How are you guys getting Tex?
No, I have prepared this because Tex is a fucking cowgirl.
Okay.
And her horse is a motorcycle. She will run and she will go find where she has stashed it in the garage, in the hospital garage.
Okay.
And she will just her way out because she has already planned on being like in a sniper tower somewhere, and if they have to leave her behind, they have to leave her behind. So she will motorcycle and catch up.
Okay. Gonna need some sort of mobility check.
Yeah.
For Tex to make it there. You guys are welcome to try to assist her in ways that if you think you can. Coil and or Avery.
I have no idea
Just
how to do this.
Yes. I do want to try something.
Okay. What do you want to do, Coil?
From where we're at, because I'm sure that thing is gonna start chasing after her.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna chase after one of you, some of you, something.
It can chase me. I'm not the target. I'm willing to go down in flames. It's fine.
Yeah. Who's it chasing? That's what I want to.
Don't know
I
yet.
just want to know from where. Okay. I want to know from where we're at if
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. As far as I understand, because I selected special grenades, it gives me 2 grenades.
Mm-hmm.
I want to grab my mechanical arm,
Okay.
attach that my second and last EMP grenade to it,
Okay.
activate it, and essentially shoot my rocket arm right off my body and aim it towards the thing and hopefully knock it down at least for a little while.
On board.
help
We're gonna
Tex.
let's call it a push. I'll give you an
Yes,
extra
I
die.
definitely want to push.
It's gonna be ranged combat. Call it aggression. And yeah, I'm giving you the extra die on the push. So I think that's
That's beautiful. Okay,
all right.
here we go.
No whammies.
5. Okay, 5.
5. Okay. You do, but the recoil of the rocket, since you're overloading this arm, it's gonna burn and put a level 3 harm on you, unless you can resist it.
Oh, I've been doing good at these. I'm gonna tough it out, use my aggression and endurance.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, 5.
5. Okay. So what I'm gonna say is we'll reduce that from the level 3 to the level 2 harm, because because your arm's gone, right? So
Yes.
that makes sense. But yeah, you EMP the rocket punch, the VTOL. The explosion goes ripping through it. It wavers as it goes. It's still trying to shoot at Tex. Tex, what mobility check did you make for me?
I am going to do it now. However, the chat has reminded I have a sprained ankle. Does that affect this check at all?
Yes, it's gonna
Make it harder?
It's gonna make it harder. Yep,
That's
you're just
fine.
gonna be less effective. But
That's fine.
I'm gonna say less effective of your sprained ankle plus the positive effect of
aggression.
it being Missy is going to level things out.
Thank God. Okay, good. A5.
A5. Okay.
Not ideal, but it's not the one. So
Yeah. So you are going to catch a bullet. It's going to be a level 2 wound. You can make a resistance check if you would
yeah,
like.
at this point I need to because I already have the level 1 wound, and if I keep on slowing us down more, it's going to fuck us up.
Okay.
How do I resist? I haven't done that yet.
You make a endurance or mobility check plus, I'm going to say aggression.
Great, amazing. I get 2 whole die.
Okay.
Oh, checks go. Okay, I'm trying. Oh, both 2s.
Both 2s. Okay.
Oh no.
So what is
No
your
checks, no.
what is your stress at?
I just You haven't told me to add any stress.
Okay. Yeah, add 3 stress.
So now I'll add some stress.
Yeah, add 3
I
stress.
was like, no, I've been paying attention. Like,
Yeah, that's
Good.
fine. Add 3 stress, and you are going to take another small wound
That's
so
fine.
so you're giving 2 edge away, but you make it to the bike.
That's
You
great.
guys are driving back to Broadway. I'm gonna
Avery's
need.
definitely driving because I'm I got one arm.
That sounds good. I'm gonna need essentially a driving check from each of you. So that's gonna be piloting, or rigging.
I'm gonna go with the one I'm slightly better at.
Well, I have 1 in piloting and none in rigging, so.
I have none in piloting and 1 in rigging, so.
Okay.
And then I
what?
will also do smartness,
Okay.
trying to navigate as best I can here.
On board. What approach did you take?
Oh, an approach. I can add an approach. I'm gonna use caution because I'm trying to take back streets.
That sounds good.
I got a 6.
Nice.
I got a 5!
Okay. You
Oh, sorry. I don't know if this affects anything. With the last, when I overloaded or when
Yep.
I pushed my implants, I did that stress did push me to overload for
Okay.
real this time.
Okay. Sounds good.
Um,
I'm guessing you put the glitch on empathy.
Yes, so I don't think that's really affected anything.
I think we're okay for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank
just
you.
Just as a FYI.
You guys lead the VTOL, and you do your best to avoid it. It loses the vehicle carrying Kincaid, but it is able to keep up with Tex. Not enough to damage Tex, even on the bike, but it is sort of following you guys the whole way back. And as you come rounding around the corner, Avery
Text you, like, if you, I mean, I'm assuming we realize it's following. Text you, like, are you going to continue with us, or are you going to...
She is going to try to kite the ship. She
So-
is going to make herself a target.
you guys are good because it's you guys did great and it's 11:40.
Okay.
so doing great as you guys make it to Broadway first. Avery and Coyle, you come running in. You're actually you're about 11 minutes late, but Gray sort of looks at you. You know that the VTOL is following Tex. She is in danger, and so the doorman walks outside, and you watch as sort of through the screen. It's much easier to see from this side, and there's a column sort of in the front, and as Tex comes screaming around the corner in the low, weird Akira style motorcycle, this large sort of Gatling gun pulls out of the column, and the doorman, just like a huge brute, just lights up the sky, and the VTOL sort of pulls back and stops, and then a few minutes later leaves. You guys are brought back inside. You look bruised, you look battered, a little worse for wear, but you guys did great. Gray sets up your tickets, hard done in paper, and I would like each of you to... There is one last thing for you, before you tell me what your happy ending looks like. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Just, what does your happy ending look like?
I you think that's hilarious.
Literally.
I think my happy ending is just getting as far away from the city as I can. Maybe making sure that I don't I mean, like, because I think my thing is that these enhancements were not, or at this point they are still they are owed, or I owe someone something for giving them to me, and they've been extorting me for a while, so I'm just happy to get out of here.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Coil?
As I gain a replacement arm, this replacement arm is a lot less tactical, there's a lot less knickknacks, paddywhacks, give a dog a bone in it. It's a little bit more domestic. It's hard for me to leave this lifestyle. I've lived with it for so long, and I've looked after maybe new people that have tried to join and tried to see them at least successful in getting out of this lifestyle. But I think it's time for Coil to get his happy ending, his own true family, and perhaps in a place with a few trees. As he heads a little bit to the southern hemisphere, away as far away as he possibly can from the place that he once called home.
Tex?
I just imagine he started singing Somewhere That's Green from Little Shop of Horrors. Or whereas Tex is singing Santa Fe from Newsies. And literally, that is her happy ending, however, with a twist. She, while she does feel like leaving this version of the life behind is a good thing, she knows that this is not the only place where people are corrupt and where people need a good shot. She is going to find somewhere, one of those little towns that's being taken over by criminals, move in, clear out the corruption, and become that crazy sheriff you don't want to fuck with because she's seen some shit. No one knows who her bankroller is. They just know she rolled into town one day, ready to make a change. No family to speak of, no need for one. Just keeping other people from being desperate enough to go into that life.
Absolutely. You all get your tickets punched. Your new lives, jeans if you need them, gear, payment, transport, enough for a new home. And as you walk out, we, the audience, are going to linger for just a moment in the bar in Broadway, the restaurant. Richard Gray sits across Tatiana Kincaid. A pitcher, a decanter of wine brought between them. She looks at him with a malice. I told you I didn't want to do it this way. I know, but sometimes we don't get what we want, do we? I don't have the grudge my brother did. Does. Right. I don't have the grudge my father did. I do. So you'll get me out? I'll get you out. I'll get you out after you bring him back in. So that's what, and she gestures to her appearance. So that's what all this was about then. Of course. How's he gonna turn her down? I know you're remade. And it breaks my heart looking at you. I think Mr. Prince will find a very compelling argument to get you out of town. You know, Richard, when this is over, I hope he stabs you in your heart. Wouldn't be the first time. Let's get you dressed, shall we? And with that, we are going to end our adventure for the evening. The world and prelude to a story I made up in college with a good friend. A nice 3-piece short that I'm trying to finish writing. So
Great, amazing. I think I speak for all of us when I say let's do it.
Oh, whoa.
Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I enjoyed the Blades in the Dark. I think I have figured out a few things. I think there needs to be a few more consequences, and I think the stress has to max out, right?
Yeah.
So that you guys have to choose between taking a harm or taking stress. I think that's the balance there. You guys did great. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
We did, I think.
That
The
was
chat
so
definitely did.
fun.
The chat, like I said, check your messages, by the way, because we got a raid going.
Okay.
And,
Awesome.
and yeah, legitimate. Oh, yeah. Crazy Chick's the first time here. Fell in love with your storytelling. Meep has
Welcome.
been like all excited chat. Cody runs our D&D 5e homebrew campaign every Monday. We're looking at rolling out more campaigns throughout the coming months that will fill regular days. We also do casting calls. He's going to be doing some play-by-posts and some just Discord only stream or just Discord games to try to let people learn how to play or learn how to stream or get more comfortable playing in this sort of digital format.
Absolutely.
If you are looking to support the stream, we have a Patreon, we have a loot shop, we have all those things. We have the podcast of YouTube, like any and all support, free or otherwise, is greatly fucking appreciated.
Yes.
But we're just happy to have all of you here. We're trying to make this year a year of growth, and we've been kind of stagnated for a couple of years because the pandemic did things. So now we're trying to pick back up and move forward, and you all being here helps with shit like that. So,
Well, guys, we got the raid prepped,
yes.
and well, it's not telling me it's starting. Why is it not starting?
/raid at? Is it at?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because it's not showing up on my end either. Try it again.
Bardic's Way.
There you go.
There it is. All right.
I just
We got the
was
raid
being
going
slow.
for you
Great.
guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you all next time. But until then, be cool.
Be cool.
Be cool.
All right. Raid is away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gonna check in with them.